Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Lost Aux Media. As always, I'm so happy for you to join me on yet another week of debauchery, where we make you take a second look at what you just watched. We got a lot of good jamokes on the docket for this week, so we're not going to hold you too much longer. Let's listen to a little bit more of these tunes, and then we'll get right into it. Like I said, we got a lot of good jamokes this week. Ethan Klein gets his arm cut off, and we find out just how big of a gooner good old love is. Then we have LeMaire Lee, former podcast producer for the Matt and Shane Secret podcast, making his first appearance on Kill Tony. Yes, LeMaire Lee, giving us a prime example of just how shitty his stand-up is because he's bombing the entire time. Good reason why he got fired. It's because he sucks, okay? So then we're going to get into David Cross having a couple of choice words with Mr. Mark Normand on his podcast. I don't even remember the name of David Cross's podcast, but I saw this clip that led me to this episode, and when you guys see the stuff that I saw and heard, it's going to blow your minds, okay? Then we're going to end this episode with the ever so cucked Destiny making his appearance on the Adam Freidland show. You guys know Destiny, this streamer guy? This guy's an actual cuck. I know I say that a lot, joking around when I'm talking about these jamokes, but like Destiny is a legitimate cuck, and he's kind of like the worst person you'd want to take advice from or even listen to when it comes to anything like geopolitical or anything otherwise. So when Adam Freidland has him on his show, pretty much just makes a mockery of the entire thing and does the best that he can to make Destiny look like a total asshole. Does it work? We'll find out that later on Lost Aux Media. So before we get into these jamokes, I think we're going to start it off on the week segment, right? But before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys this video that just had me like in stitches. You guys familiar with this like Luigi guy? I don't know if you guys have like listened to any of the news lately, but there was this like Luigi dude that ended up shooting a CEO in the back somewhere in the middle of like Manhattan or something like that. Apparently he did it because he had like a bunch of back problems. This guy's back was getting blown out on like a daily basis. And apparently the health system was doing nothing to help him out with that. So he decided to take his frustrations out on the CEO for the insurance company that he had or something, I guess. I don't really know. But a lot of people are talking about this dude as if he's like a hero, you know, for shooting this guy. Now a lot of people are saying, oh man, something's gonna happen in healthcare reform. None of that shit really makes much of a difference to me. That's all outside of my pay grade. That's not why we're here, alright? I wanted to show you guys this video that I had found of him. Very quick little clip. But this shit had me dying. This is a video that they had taken of him while he is being like transported from like, I don't know, the courthouse to maybe the jail. So they're bringing him out in shackles and they're bringing him to like a transport van, right? Naturally in these situations, paparazzi does everything in their power to get as many pictures as they possibly can. So they're always yelling the person's name. You see a bunch of flashes, different things like that. And that's what this video is going to show us here. But wait until you hear what comes out of one of these guys' mouths.
What's happening, Luigi? What's going on, Luigi?
So you hear, like, that was very quick. They threw him in that van real fast. And you know, like I said, these guys are, like, yelling his name. Like they're, like, catcalling him. They're like, Luigi, Luigi. And you hear one guy sound suspiciously Italian. Right? Now, these guys are all, hey, Luigi, look over here. They're trying to get pictures of him. One guy in the background's like, hey, Luigi. What's going on, Luigi? Right? Now, this is some foreshadowing of what's to come right now. Wait until you hear this shit. This Italian guy spits out the one line. You probably can guess what it is, but the way he delivers it is where the goods are. Let's hear it.
Luigi, it's me, Mario.
Luigi, it's me, Mario. But now, hear me out, because obviously that's like the most played out joke that you could possibly imagine for a shooter named Luigi, right? Everybody, of course, is going to go like the Supreme route. You know the clothing company Supreme? Everyone's going to go that route. And they're going to be like, man, let's make a bunch of pictures of like Mario with guns and money shooting a bunch of people. They'll be like, yo, that's the Luigi guy that got locked up, bro. He's changing healthcare reform, right? You think everybody's going to go that way. This guy goes, hey, Luigi, it's me, Mario. But when he says Mario, it's like he's giving up. Like he goes to like go with this joke that he has in his head, and like halfway through he doesn't commit to the bit. So you start hearing him like fall off a little bit. And that's where the humor is. Anyone could say a fucking, hey Luigi, it's a me, a Mario joke, okay? Anyone could say that. Can you deliver it the way that this man delivered it? That's the question.
What's going on, Luigi? Luigi, it's me, Mario.
Look, Luigi, it's me, Mario. He like goes off to the side, like trails off a little bit, right? This is good shit. Now, if you pay attention, you listen real close. One of these paparazzi guys turns and looks to him and is like, come on, man. Like real soft. You could hear it he's like, come on, man. Because the guy delivered the joke, right? He made the other guys laugh. You can hear them laughing. Like, you could dead ass hear them laughing if you pay attention close enough.
What's going on, Luigi? Luigi, it's me, Mario. Me, Mario.
You right at the end. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's good shit. I don't care who you are. That had me in stitches. So let's give it up for Luigi. Changing healthcare reform one bullet at a time. You know what I mean? And these paparazzi, you know they're going to be there for every second of the way to capture every last bit of it. So, as I had mentioned earlier, we're about to jump into the week segment. And you know we like to start out with some of those good, smooth H3 vibes when we get into the week segment, the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. So we got a little bit of a twofer in this segment. We got a couple time codes from one episode, a couple time codes from another. In this first episode, it was titled Trisha was on SNL, so I'm cutting my arm off. Yes, Ethan Klein's got to cut one of them limbs off, you know what I mean? If you are familiar with the old H3 lore and some of the old shows, you know, like Frienemies, Ethan used to do a show with one Trisha Paytas. And a lot of people like that show. I'm not going to lie, I like that show. Like, Ethan by himself? No. Trisha by herself? No. You put those two together, now we're fucking talking here. You know, like I can mesh with those two together. It's because of the dynamic. Like Trisha's always fucking like out in Ethan, exposing him. Like, you know, oh, all you care about is money, Ethan. We were talking the other day in like a family meeting, and you know what I mean? Like shit like that. So I get a good kick out of that. When they were on the show together, she had mentioned that like one of her biggest dreams was to get on SNL. Now, Ethan being the fucking jealous little cuck that he is, he goes, oh man, I'll tell you what, if you ever even get close to SNL, like if you even show up on the show, if you even make like one appearance, I'll cut my arm off, okay? I'll cut it clean off. Like, I will do it, I will saw it off, I will get the whole tourniquet, I'll get it like heated up so it doesn't bleed out anymore, I'll do the whole thing. I'll host this entire thing with one arm. Now, needless to say, this was a joke, right? But this asshole made more headlines when Trisha went on SNL than fucking Trisha did. So obviously he wants to use that in a little bit of a clickbaity type episode here, right? And that's kind of what we're going to get into. Now, obviously, we're not gonna get into like the entire thing. We're gonna start with like right when he cuts his arm off, which you'll quickly see what they do to like simulate that. Okay, so here we go. Here's good old Ethan Klein missing an arm.
The chopping off was under the desk.
Okay, we got the first aid kit. Don't worry.
All right, Lena's getting first aid. Can you wipe it off for me? I don't have an arm.
I don't have an arm.
Thank you. So Lena's cleaning the blood off my face.
Ho just says, guys.
Look at that. We just got done with that same music. Goddamn. Okay, are they? What's with the soundboard today, huh? There we go. Are they biting my bits or am I biting theirs? Who knows? Okay, only God will know the answer to that. Ethan Klein. So, had to use a cough button there. So, now, as you saw, basically what they did was they, like, pretended to cut off Ethan's arm. Like, AB had a katana and shit. He actually looked pretty badass. He had a katana and shit. He was doing the, like, like, you know, and he was, like, making it real ceremonial. Gives Ethan one little chop. They put his arm under the desk. They put, like, a green screen sleeve on it. And if you know anything about the show, anything about production, they sit in front of a green screen. They always change the background, stuff like that. So when he puts that green screen arm, it's going to make it look like he's missing an arm. Now, they did it up. They splattered, like, fake blood on his face and stuff like that. So what we have here is, like, Ethan getting cleaned up in all of this, right? So this is, like, the aftermath of the bit of them cutting off, quote-unquote, Ethan's arm. But what happens next is where this time code brings us a little bit of that gold.
First aid. Can you wipe it off for me? I don't have an arm.
I don't have an arm.
Thank you. So Lena's cleaning the blood off my face.
Ho just says, guys, it's fake. I can tell.
Come down to the floor, love.
What do you know,
Do
man?
it down here on the floor.
What do you know?
How many arm choppings have you seen?
Yeah.
There's a little blood here, Lena.
One less than me, I bet.
It's tradition to spray someone in the face with water before you cut off their hand.
So now, if you pay attention to what's happening here, the crew's reading some chats. They're going, oh, man, we can see Ethan's arm is actually there, man. We're not stupid. You know, so Dan's playing into that bit, which is fine, okay? But Ethan kind of, like, doesn't pick up on the fact that, like, Dan's trying to keep the show alive while he's just sitting there, like, having Lena in love, like, you know, Lena's wiping blood off his forehead. Love's giving him a little tug and rub under the desk to help him, like, you know, settle into this, like, new development that we have in the show so that he can, like, you know, keep hosting it smoothly. He's rubbing on his junk. You know, they got that going on. We don't care about watching that, right? So Dan, being a good producer, he picks up on this. He starts reading chats. He starts having, like, a little bit of a side conversation. AB's joining in. So that's what we got going on here. Now, I'm sorry, I paused it again. Now, next is what is jarring. I'm telling you, you always see Ethan do this kind of shit.
It's tradition to spray someone in the face with water before you cut off their hand.
Yeah.
Just so you guys
There's
know.
no cut there.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
If you saw a little
please.
hand reach up with the squirt bottle, that's all that was.
That's ancient tradition.
Yeah, that's a traditional.
Yeah.
And in
I don't
fact,
want to
it's
scare my kids. Dad, who are you talking to?
Yo, what the fuck? Look at this jamoke, okay? Who's Dan talking? He's talking to the audience, okay? He's talking to us because you're sitting there like an asshole getting all this stuff wiped off your face and shit. So what are we supposed to do? Just watch you sit there and go like, and make like weird noises into the fucking microphone? Like, is this real? Why does he always have to do this? It seems like every single time that the attention's taken away from him for even just a second, he has to like freak the fuck out about it. And it's like in every situation. Like they did a couple months back, they did we're ranking how hot all of the presidents of the United States are. From George Washington all the way to Donald J. So they're ranking them as soon as like the girls are like, oh, that president's kind of hot. You see Ethan, he kind of is like, what? You think that guy's hot? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I'm way better looking than this guy. Like, he can't have the attention away from him even for a second. Even if it's at the detriment of, like, saving the show in the current moment. He can't have that. Watch him. He snaps off at Dan. And Dan gets fucking embarrassed. Wait until you see this.
A
Yes,
little
please.
hand reach up with the squirt bottle. That's all that was.
That's ancient tradition.
Yeah, that's a traditional.
yeah.
And in
I don't
fact,
want to
it's.
scare my kids. Dad, who are you talking to?
I am talking
doing
to
a
the
show
audience.
here.
Okay. You're getting cleaned up.
I
You're
just
not.
had my
What kind
arm
of show
cut
is
off.
this?
Who are you yapping with?
Look at that. Who are you talking to, Dan? What the fuck kind of shit is this? Poor Dan. Poor Dan, okay? Dan's just trying to fucking, like, sail some ships and shit. He's coming into work every day looking like a sailor for you, okay? And this is how you end up treating this guy? Trying to save the show? Trying to look good for Senior Ethan? And this is how he treats him. Dan, who are you talking to? Like, when I heard this, I was like, dude, is this guy fucking serious?
It's a very traumatic stuff, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan thinks Dan's doing a sideshow as I'm here bleeding out.
Losing your
And look at how embarrassed Dan is. You can see it. Like, Dan is, like, legitimately, he knows. He's like, what am I going to do? Like, talk shit back to my boss? You know what I mean? Like, I have to fucking swallow this shit. Once again, live on air. You know, this is the kind of shit that Ethan's good for all the time. Like, this is ridiculous. Now, this is something I thought was kind of funny. We're going to, like, pop through these, like, real fast. You know how much of a fan Ethan used to be of, like, Good Mythical Morning? Remember a little while ago I had covered how, like, Ethan kind of wants to, like, rip off Good Mythical Morning's vibe? And I kind of brought up the fact that, like, I felt like the reason that he wants to do that, once again bringing up this point, is that Good Mythical Morning are constantly eating things on air, and Ethan will do anything in his power to have a good excuse to eat on air. So, like, this was something that I found kind of interesting. That Ethan was kind of trying to create this, like, parasocial relationship with Good Mythical Morning. See, that's how bad that name is. I can't even say it fucking straight. You know, so he's trying to create this, like, parasocial relationship with those guys. Then Ethan ends up getting into, like, a whole Twitter beef with one of their producers. And I thought this was just hilarious.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer for Good Mythical Morning, who's a big part of their team, apparently.
Affairs.
Has a podcast called Bad Hespera, in which he brought on Frogan to cry and bitch about getting banned for her insanely terrible behavior, the hummus racial tier list, and the wishing American soldiers get PTSD. He's like, yeah, you are being targeted. And they're reacting to a clip of me in which this guy, Matt Lieb, says something so horrifically fucked up that I believe either he actually does need to apologize and clarify. Like,
ooh, so that's some big shit to be making demands like that of somebody else's producer. Like, if I had a producer here with me, anybody online starts making demands like this, I'm coming out public. I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself, okay? My producer can do whatever he wants. As long as he's being a good representation of my show, then he's fine. And as far as I know, I don't keep up with these Good Mythical Morning guys, but I haven't heard anything about this dude getting fired, you know? Here's the thing, though. Ethan's fans are so fucking crazy that it wouldn't surprise me if they start going after Good Mythical Mornings like sponsors and stuff like that. Sending off little messages, little proxy messages. Hey, make the producer apologize or else we're going to keep going after your sponsors. This is the kind of shit that Ethan's insane fans are good for, right? So don't be surprised if this particular incident turns into an actual development. Like, Ethan, like, genuinely wants this guy fired. He's bringing this up, and you know, as Ethan usually does, he's going to start putting examples on the screen, and he's going to start blowing them out of proportion. Wait until you see this.
it's accepted. It's fucked up, man. Like, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning. This guy's apparently works, like, for the most brand-friendly fucking show on earth, and he's
all
saying
that's
shit
going to
like
happen
this.
is
Like, fuck you, man.
See, this is why I say this. You hear how he kind of does that, like, he throws in these, like, subliminal one-off, like, one-liners. He goes, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning. This guy works for the most brand-friendly show on earth. Like, this guy? You know what I mean? So he kind of, like, overemphasizes that shit. So to you, it seems like this guy is worse than what he is. Like, this guy might have just been like, I don't know, Middle Eastern people are like cool, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? And Ethan goes, this guy's an anti-Semite. I can't. And he starts losing his breath. He goes, I can't believe it. A good mythical morning. They need to apologize. They need to apologize right now. As a matter of fact, every single one of you. I mean, I'm not telling you to do it, but like if you want to go and voice your opinions to their sponsors, I can't do anything to stop you. This is like the kind of energy that we get from Ethan. When he does these kind of things, I feel like that's what's behind them. He wants to weaponize his audience. And he's trying to do it to good mythical morning. I thought you were trying to be cool with these guys. What the fuck is happening?
Fucking show on Earth, and he's
All
saying
that's
shit
going to
like
happen
this?
is like,
Fuck you, man.
It is a little surprising.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this person is, and
I recognize him.
I will admit, I'm not a
I don't know
regular
who.
Good
I
Mythical
only
Morning
learned
viewer.
because I saw the clip, and
I
they
know
were
that'll come
saying
as a
he's like a
surprise.
big producer for Good Mythical Morning.
Right? Yeah.
I wonder what Rhett and Link's stance is on me being a Jewish supremacist.
What the fuck?
Mr. Klein. See what I'm talking about? This is the type of shit that I'm saying. Like to see, you familiar with the term dry snitching? It's kind of like when people will talk about what you're doing like out loud so that other people will hear it on the off chance. And they kind of didn't snitch on you directly by just going and telling on you, but they still got you caught by being a fucking idiot or an asshole. This is kind of what Ethan's doing right now. He's kind of sitting there like putting out these subliminal messages. He's like subtweeting Good Mythical Morning like here live on air. You know, this is kind of crazy to me. This is like the fucking behavior of like a 14-year-old, you know? This is not the behavior of a guy
I'd be a pedophile for $20 million.
who would be a pedophile for $20 million. This is not that guy. You know what I mean? And he, to see his face like this, I wonder what Good Mythical Morning would think about this. You know, he sounds like a villain.
I recognize him.
I will admit, I'm not a regular Good
I
Mythical
only
Morning
learned
viewer.
because I saw the clip, and
I know
they were
that'll come
saying
as
he's
a
like a
surprise.
big producer for Good Mythical Morning.
Right? Yeah.
I wonder what Rhett and Link's stance is on me being a Jewish supremacist. What a disgusting, shameful act of bigotry from both of them. And while running defense for Frogan, who is the most vile, disgusting, hateful moron,
See, you notice how in the same breath talking about wanting people to be more tolerant, this guy is calling these people like every fucking name in the book. You know what I mean? This is kind of what throws me off about like people kind of like Ethan, like I guess like these new wave liberals. These are like neo-liberals, you know what I mean? You know how people use the word like neo-Nazi, this like the new wave of Nazis, right? This is kind of like that, but on like the liberal side, you know? This is like the new wave of liberalism. It's kind of almost becoming like the right, you know what I mean? Like, and to see Ethan kind of spout off these like very ignorant terms while talking to these people in a kind of like bitching about inclusion kind of way, kind of makes me feel like Ethan's probably the biggest hypocrite I've ever met. But in other news, this is still going to have to do with the week segment. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this Kendrick Lamar situation with Andrew Schulz, right? And the reason I'm bringing it up is because Ethan's going to talk about it on his show. We get some good time codes out of that. So basically, Kendrick Lamar wrote this song, and in one of his lyrics of the song, he's basically saying, don't let no comedian make jokes about no black woman, that's law. You know, he is getting real tight about that. He's like, you motherfuckers need to slide on these white comedians, you know? They fucking starting to get a little popping off in the mouth. So everybody kind of pieced together that he was talking about Andrew Schulz, right? And normally comedians, they get like shots from these rappers like this. They kind of shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? They might make like a joke or two. They don't get too crazy. But as soon as the joke is over, they go, no, for real though, Suge Knight. I'm like, cool, man. Like, we're cool. No, for real, 50 Cent. It was just a joke. Like, I was just joking around. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get no shit coming my way. You know what I mean? Andrew Schulz does none of that. Andrew Schulz kind of leans into it, basically pops off like the most craziest shit that I've heard a comedian talk shit to a rapper about in a long ass time. And Ethan doesn't like Andrew's jokes.
Oh my God, dude. Schulz, Andrew Schulz. I do not like this guy.
Ethan's new tick. This guy legitimately has a cough button sitting right on his desk.
Been pretty public about that. I think he's a piece of shit, obnoxious asshole. And he went on this like 30-minute tirade. Tirade? Kendrick mentioned him on the album. He said, "Don't let no white comedian talk about black women. That's law." Referring to when Andrew had a few people on his show and they were just saying like terrible shit about black women. I thought it was pretty out of pocket when I saw the clip. It was a little controversial. People got mad about it. But now, oh, here it is. This is the original clip. You guys can get the whole story.
Okay, let's play it. This guy had fucking been coughing for like the past 3 minutes. He's slurping on fucking sodas and all sorts of shit like that. Like, I'm telling you. Imagine if I did that shit to you guys. Imagine if I went on here, I started talking about clips. I just like kept like having really awkward pauses, was like slurping my fucking coffee into the goddamn microphone. You know what I mean? Like, what would you think of me? You probably wouldn't want to listen, would you? Like, I'm surprised that people actually stick around for as long as they do. Like, I'm hate watching. What does that say about the fans? Like, I'm doing this to talk shit. If you're enjoying this, you're sick.
Oh, it's been deleted.
What is the black girlfriend?
The other video.
It's the right. Yeah.
The first video was
So
like
you'll
the
see
song.
A guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends,
They grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect.
Yo, Andrew Schulz kind of racist. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of wacky. But look, I'm kind of like getting thrown off a little bit. This guy's haircut and shit, like, am I missing something? I think Andrew Schulz might be trying to steal my goddamn look, okay? You know what I mean? Like, you put a goddamn trucker cap on this guy. I mean, come on. So, obviously, you see he's making these, like, sick jokes, right? About these black women, you know? And Kendrick Lamar, he doesn't like that, you know? Now, like I said, Andrew Schulz, when Kendrick drops that line and he starts making these tweets, yo, you need to slide on these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kendrick kind of calling for violence, you know? When Andrew does his response, Ethan catches a whiff of it, watches the clip. Ethan, all of a sudden, he turns into like the biggest goddamn activist in the world. Because when you hear the response to this, Ethan's response to this, you're going to be like, bro, like, why do you care so much about this?
Then he goes on like a 30-minute, I'm not shit you not, 30-minute tirade about how he wants to and could rape Kendrick.
What the fuck?
Andrew Schulz wants to rape Kendrick Lamar. Okay, big deal. You what's the matter? You don't think Kendrick Lamar can handle himself? Okay? I feel like a guy tries to slide up on a dude like Kendrick. Kendrick's gonna hit that motherfucker with so many pieces before he even opens his goddamn mouth. You know? Like, a dude like Kendrick sees a stringy-looking white dude, like a tall, stringy-looking white dude walking up on him. I mean, he's like fucking fist clenched, like, before that dude even walks up on him. Because he's like, this motherfucker looks suspicious. Kendrick's probably looking at him. He's like, I don't ever see stringy-ass looking tall white dudes like this. Like, I don't hang out with them. So he sees one, it puts him on edge. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure if Andrew Schulz got anywhere near Kendrick Lamar, he'd be fine. But Ethan, legitimately, he's like going crazy over this shit.
Oh, I saw this already.
Ooh. Of course, I fucked the time code up.
Then he goes on like a 30-minute, I'm not shit you not, 30-minute tirade about how he wants to and could rape Kendrick. And then he gets into detail about how he wants to rape Kendrick because he's big and he's small and he could do it. It's fucking mental.
Got off my phone for the week. Like the week before, you know, Kendrick dropped his album, right?
Yeah.
every black person that texts or calls me is like, yo, Kendrick just took a shot at you on the album. Every white person or Asian person or Latino person that calls me is like, yo, good luck on your special. Okay?
Yeah.
So clearly there was.
What is that? His racial humor is weird.
His racial humor is a little weird. What's even weirder is like how much emphasis Ethan's putting on this rape joke. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, rape ain't cool. We get it. If Andrew Schulz actually could rape Kendrick Lamar, though, I mean, that's kind of cool for Andrew. Like, how cool would that be if you actually could rape the one and only Kendrick Lamar? Like, if you had that ability, you wouldn't brag about it at least a little bit? I know I would. So, like, the fact that Ethan's getting so worked up over this joke, it just makes no sense. Because everyone listening knows that it's a joke. That there's no seriousness in this. Ethan's legitimately kind of making Kendrick seem like a bitch. Like, if you think about it, the fact that Ethan's going so far out of his way to try to defend someone like Kendrick Lamar, well, what does that say about Kendrick Lamar? Like, if I was Kendrick Lamar, I'd go out in public, I'd start tweeting, I'd be like, hey, this Ethan Klein guy, slide on that motherfucker, that's law. I don't need this guy defending me as if I'm some punk bitch from around the way, okay? I can take care of my goddamn self.
There's a separation in who was, indulging in his content. Okay? So
I heard it. I was there. White guy.
Out of it.
Guilty.
But I come out of the special, and it looks like there's so many articles about this album that are about, I don't want to,
Yeah, it was about you. You were trending on my Twitter.
No way.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you because you had things to focus on.
What a time to be alive where...
I was not one of the Asians who said, good luck on your special.
I'm just saying. What a time to be alive where rappers...
Andrew's Meat Rider co-host is the most embarrassing person alive. I don't know what this guy's deal is, but he has clearly sold out any shame left. This man just does not care. He laughed.
Whoa! I was not expecting that. Ethan actually saying something that I can kind of agree on. Like, this Akash Singh motherfucker, somebody shoot that man. Like, with as many bullets as you can find. Like, if you have a gun, all of the bullets, take them, put them in the same fucking magazine. It doesn't matter if they're the same caliber, whatever. Jam the gun if you have to. Shoot this guy with everything you fucking have. Like, legitimately, somebody needs to pull like a fucking infinity war on this guy. Like, turn him into goddamn ash. I cannot stand Akash Singh. And him and Andrew, they get awfully touchy on this goddamn show. We'll be covering Flagrant coming up on Lost Aux Media. Okay? So we'll be talking about this Flagrant shit a little bit later, okay? But I want to show you guys like where Andrew's actually making this joke. Like, Ethan's legitimately like making this out to seem like Kendrick actually got raped.
This part is fucking bizarre, dude. Let's see.
Do it, Kendrick.
You want to squabble up with Kenny?
No. I mean, here's the thing. This is the thing that is kind of funny about it. Is like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. And there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him. And the only
the way that
thing
Meat
that he
Rider
could do
laughs,
is decide
it's like
if
not funny. It's weird, bro.
Sensual or not.
It's not funny, man.
Dude, he really is. I'm agreeing with you. Like, me and Ethan are practically brothers right now. I'm so on the same page as him. This Akash guy, he's laughing like, Photoshop a bunch of dicks into his goddamn mouth, please. Okay? Someone take this still frame, 9 dicks right in his goddamn mouth, because this is the gayest fag I have ever seen. Okay? I'm 100% on Ethan's side with this. Look at the way these two interact with each other. It's awfully touchy coming from these guys. And if you ever notice, I mean, I'm laughing like that around a chick that I'm trying to, schmooze, if you will. Like, so when I'm laughing like that, uncontrollable, at the most unfunny thing you could possibly imagine, I got a thing for the person I'm laughing at. So I'm kind of starting to think that this might be a little match made in heaven. Like, Akash might actually have something for Andrew. And this still frame right here, I'm telling you, this is like the cover of The Notebook. You know what I mean? Like, these two are in love.
It's not funny. It's weird, bro.
Sensual or not.
It's not funny, man. What are you doing?
He could do. If it's me and Kendrick,
Watch, they're about to start grabbing each other. They're about to start grabbing each other.
No,
There it is. Look at that. Andrew Schulz and Akash Singh. Look, that's sexual assault, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him. Like, I'm telling you, that's sexual assault. You can't just go grab somebody's arm like that all willy-nilly. Imagine if you were at the grocery store, right? And you just said something funny, like in line. And some fucking person sitting next to you in line starts laughing and grabs you like this. What would you do in that situation? Okay? And the fact that Akash is not doing anything in this situation, this makes me worry.
It's not funny, man. What are you doing?
He could do. If it's me and Kendrick, no. This is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe I'll let him choose a position.
Why are you pulling this picture up, Mark?
Look, I'm telling you, a guy starts talking about raping another man, you let him touch you like that, that's game over in my book, okay? So let's give it up for Andrew Schulz and Akash Singh actually somehow doing the impossible and making Ethan Klein look like a sane man for once in his life. So that was pretty much all the time codes I have from that episode, but don't you worry, we still have more of the week segment. So in this next set of time codes, we're going to be talking about Love and his little Gooner addiction. I'm telling you, I honestly feel like Love sits around his house, 9 computer screens, because you know he's a fucking nerd, and all of them have like 18 different browsers open. They're all different videos. He's sitting there in like 360. You know, he's like 360 screens. It's all porn. You know what I mean? And he doesn't know what to do with himself. 18 hours a day. This guy's jerking off every fucking day. Okay? That's how I feel. You know what I mean? This is a legend. You know? So, those are some of the time codes that we'll be talking about. But before we get into those, I want to show you this little fallen fan of the H3 show. Did you know, like, Ethan has this term, fallen fan, that he puts for, like, people that either don't like the H3 show or, like, were fans of the H3 show and are no longer fans of the H3 show? He honestly feels like everyone is a fallen fan that doesn't like the show. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm somewhat new to this H3 stuff. If you listen to past episodes, I even talk about, I only started attempting to listen to this show maybe a year ago, a little longer. The second episode, maybe, I was like, damn, this guy is like a piece of shit. Like, I could see it practically day one, right? So if you're talking about someone like me, I can't be a fall. I was never a fan. I gave it a shot. I was like, man, this show fucking, I'm going to keep tabs on this because this guy seems like a dumpster fire. I was right. And then I just kept keeping tabs. Like, this is pretty much all it is. It's like when you find like a, you have like a personal vendetta against someone, right? Have you ever had one of those? And you do everything in your power to keep tabs on that person so that 20 years down the line, you can completely fucking destroy their life. It's the same thing. I mean, so obviously, we can all relate to this, okay? So I wanted to show you guys this time code of Ethan talking about one of his fallen fans.
We really only know what you show us, and what you've shown us shows us that you don't seem to like Trisha. Now, I do got to give credit where credit is due. Ethan did do a pretty good impersonation of my voice. Like, I'm not even lying. It was good.
What the fuck?
Anyone could do a good impersonation of this guy's voice. I'm sorry. I'm like, I mean, if you were someone who was new to the show, you would almost think I'm like a fan of Ethan in this segment. Like, because Ethan's spitting fire, kind of. Like, anyone could do a good impression of this guy's voice because he sounds like a fucking faggot. Like, if you go into the microphone and you start talking like this and you go, Ethan Klein, you do that. You know these guys do this shit, right? So that you, when you come across the thing, you get stuck on the video because you go, man, this guy sounds like a fucking bitch. You get almost entranced of how bad this guy's voice sounds. It's kind of like a subliminal thing that they try to do to you because you, subconsciously in your mind, are sitting there waiting for him to crack, waiting for him to break that character in his voice, right? You might not even be aware that you're doing it. And it's the only reason that people like this get views. Kind of pisses me off. Think about it. If you met this fucking curly-haired asshole in public and he came up to you and goes, hey, my name is Josh, you'd fucking spit in his face. You wouldn't be able to stomach this shit. So why are you able to stomach it when you're scrolling through it on TikTok? And next question, why the fuck are you on TikTok? Get a life. So now watch, this guy, Ethan's classifying him as a Fallen fan. He's giving Ethan props for this little voice impression of his. And this is where Ethan's going to start talking about this term, Fallen fan.
Gotta give credit where credit is due. Ethan did do a pretty good impersonation of my voice. Like, I'm not even lying. It was good. But Ethan, if you don't want people to assume that you're mad at someone having success, maybe don't make wild statements like that to people. Because everybody is waiting.
Cutting my arm off 5 years ago?
In a joking way?
With a friend?
What do you mean, man? Just look at what I actually said in the video that you're fucking apparently reacting to.
Waiting for you to do this, Ethan. By the way, these are the comments I was referring to. Since it really didn't seem like you thought that anybody was actually saying it, you know?
No.
So Ethan, it might be time to bring the old content back. And I'm not talking frenemies. I'm talking the OG H3 that everyone loves. Because I used to be a huge fan of those videos. And I'm sorry, but your new stuff just isn't good.
Okay.
Change my state of mind. Ladies and gentlemen. Love so hard to find.
We got him. Now, see, look, Ethan's stuck in like a little state of like euphoria right now. Because the fact that this kid actually said, like, I used to be a really huge fan of those shows, and like, I think you should bring them back. And like, so the fact that he said this, it's going to give Ethan like the satisfaction that he needs to start saying this yuppie bullshit, right? So now he says that I used to be a really big fan of those shows, and now Ethan's going to get a big head. He goes, it's always the Fallen fans. It's always the Fallen fans. Like, everyone was a fan at some point, you know?
Because I used to be a huge fan of those videos. And I'm sorry, but your new stuff just isn't good.
Okay, well, that's just your fucking opinion, dude.
Oh, he fucking cooked.
Fallen fan. It's always the Fallen fans, man. The truth is, man, everyone who's not a fan's a Fallen fan. Because let's be honest, Noah, everybody's been a fan of me at one.
Dude, all right, we get it, but look at this guy. I'm sorry, Ethan. You can no longer shave your face any longer. I actually outlaw it. Like, I'm actually outlawing this. Because every single time this guy shaves his face, whatever, he looks like a goddamn plucked chicken. He looks almost like Tom Segura. But Jew. Like, you know, so... And look, he's got that hair thing. This is like one of Hila's collection items, you know? This comes straight from her personal makeup bag. And he's got his hair all slicked up. Shaved face, very scrawny looking chicken neck, you know what I mean? 5 o'clock shadow. He did all that because he got like some like ringworm like infestation on his face. He's getting like all these crazy patches on his beard. They were like pulling up the close-ups on the show and shit. Real jarring stuff, like very disgusting stuff. So he's sitting there talking about how everyone's a Fallen fan, man. It's always the Fallen fans, right? But listen to the hubris that's coming out of this asshole's mouth. Like, he legitimately thinks anyone who spends any time on the internet is a fan of H3.
Videos, and I'm sorry, but your new stuff just isn't good.
Okay, well, that's just your fucking opinion, dude.
he fucking cooked.
Fallen fan. It's always the Fallen fans, man. The truth is, man, everyone who's not a fan's a Fallen fan, because let's be honest, Noah, everybody's been a fan of me at one point in their life or not.
Oh, that's not true.
I was kind of a big fucking deal.
That's not true at all.
How is that not true?
There's like 8 billion people on the planet.
Ooh, I like that, Dan. Look at Dan. Dan's like, hey, asshole, remember that time you like embarrassed me last episode? Remember I was trying to like keep the show alive and you were like, hey, Dan, who the fuck are you talking to like that? You remember that? And Dan's sitting there going like, you sound like a total fucking idiot right now, motherfucker. Like, you know, and I love that. I love seeing Dan pull this kind of shit with Ethan. Like, because Ethan legitimately will believe that. He'll go like, everyone who is on the internet knows about H3. They all do, you know? And you know what's funny is this guy, past couple episodes, all he's been talking about is like, yo, guys, views are down, memberships are down, we're like losing money with sponsors. Don't worry, though, the show's going to be here to stay. But if you could, like, could you get like your mother and your grandmother to sign up for the memberships? Maybe donate a little more to the chat, because like we're hurting over here, folks. Like, and now he goes and says shit like this. Everyone knows who I am on the internet. I'm fucking H3, you know? So let's get into this Love and his gooning. I really worry about this guy. I'm telling you, Love is one of those fucking crazy nerds. I'm talking like he's got like all the gadgets. I picture Love legitimately having like a 50 Shades of Grey room, right? But instead of it being like toys and whips and chains and shit to use on other people, it's all a bunch of stuff that he can use on his own junk. He's got like blowjob machines that twirl at like 350 RPMs. He's got like pocket pussies. Things are vibrating, jackhammering and shit. Like, I bet when this guy goes into sessions, his room sounds like a construction site. It's like a brrr and like all sorts of shit like that. You know what I mean? And this is why. They start talking about, in a segment of theirs, they start talking about this girl this OnlyFans chick, right? Who pulled off this stunt to have sex with 100 men in a day. Now, I don't know why people are going so crazy about this. There was a porn star that did this in like the 70s, okay? Like, this is not Guinness World Record breaking shit, okay? Maybe the new record is like that. It's on the internet now and it's not on VHS or something. Like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But the facts that are coming out of Love's mouth in regards to this fucking situation are like unprecedented. This guy, every single time someone has a question while they're talking about the shit in this segment, Love comes in there like rapid fire, as if it's like a trivia night. You know, you ever go to a trivia night? Somebody goes, who was the second president of the United States? Everybody starts freaking out to fucking raise their hands so that they can win like a $25 gift card at Applebee's. You know? Love is like has like that kind of energy. They start asking questions. How many girls or how many guys did she fuck? How much time in between? Love's like, oh, I know the answers to that. I know all of them. I know all the answers. So when you see this, Love is gooning hard over this one. Watch this.
Affected negatively, and then she's doing it again.
But then she's doing it for 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
1,000?
It was very like emotional.
How long is that going to take?
Wait, yeah, actually.
What's the math in that?
How do you even find 1,000 dudes up for that?
Is there enough time in the day?
Do we know how long it took to do 100?
Okay, so now here's where it's going to start getting good. So they're already talking about this for a little while, right? And they start to find out, they go, okay, she already did 100. And then Ethan's looking through like the fucking article. He goes, oh my God, she wants to do 1,000? Like, that's crazy. She's already at 100. Now she wants to do 1,000. So the crew's like, 1,000, that's kind of like fucking pushing it, don't you think? And Dan's sitting there trying to be the smart sailor that he is. And he's on clicking and clacking on his keyboard. He goes, well, are there even enough minutes in the day? Like, is this even logistically possible? You know? And Ethan starts asking some questions. This is where Love's going to come in with this like laser focused knowledge that he has of this whole situation.
She said it took way more time than what she thought. I don't know the hours, but it was like multiple hours.
I have to imagine if it took even, dude, they guys said they thought they had 4 minutes. That's a long time.
They were promised 4 minutes, and they were upset that they didn't get their 4 minutes.
That's
which
crazy,
is insane.
bro. Step to the side.
Give me 30 seconds.
I recommend going and watching it.
See, look, Love, I recommend going and watching it. So they're sitting there asking these questions. Love is like a fucking encyclopedia. He's like, it took multiple hours. As a matter of fact, I watched all 7 hours of the video. He goes, you should go and watch it. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy, bro. Like, there were so many penises, 4 minutes at a time, my friend. You know, Ethan and them, like, I'm surprised that nobody's gotten, like, suspicious. Like, this is one of those things, like, if I was sitting around with a group of guys, you know, hanging at the table, drinking lattes and shit, you know, we're all talking about respectful stuff, like this situation. And, I start asking some questions. One of them answers 3 in a row. I'm going to look at that guy. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, like, how do you know so much about this shit? These guys, they're all acting like this is another Tuesday because they're used to this with Love. Like, Ethan, I wouldn't surprise me if Ethan's, like, legitimately had to be like, Love, you can't talk about porn in the office, bro. Like, I'm sorry. You know, we all like it too. You know what I mean? But you like it a little too much. You know? I'm sorry.
If it took even, dude, they guys said they thought they had 4 minutes. That's a long time.
They were promised 4 minutes, and they were upset that they didn't get their 4 minutes.
That's
which
crazy,
is insane.
bro. Step to the side.
Give me 30 seconds.
I recommend going to watching it.
Did the guys have to finish, or they didn't have to finish?
I don't know. Some did. She said.
Okay,
I didn't
so
watch.
if they didn't, so if they didn't have to finish, they could follow a really strict timeline.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the timeline was 4 minutes, right? So if you didn't finish in 4 minutes, you're done.
So 4 minutes
Some were
times,
cut
that's
short.
400 minutes. How many hours is that? It's like, that's a long fucking time.
Some were cut short.
See, Love's like, let me do some quick math real quick. I will do my Swedish powers on it, and I will figure out the math real quick to figure out if they all came or not. You know, like this guy answering these goddamn questions, rapid fire, and Ethan's asking a lot of them. Like, if I was in the crew, I'd be like, bro, just subscribe to the fucking OnlyFans. What are you asking me this shit for? Like, you legitimate. Like, if I was Love, I'd be like, dude, you're blowing up my fucking spot. Like, I don't want the world to know how much I know about this porn situation. I don't want the world to know about anything that has to do with me and porn. So stop asking me this shit. I would legitimately say that to him. I'd say, man, subscribe, motherfucker. Like, you always trying to get people to subscribe to this. You subscribe to that. And then you will know the truth that you seek.
Minutes. How many hours is that? It's like, that's a long fucking time.
Some were cut short, apparently. Yeah.
They were cut short?
Yeah.
Apparently. He does that afterwards. He goes, some were cut short. Apparently. As if he doesn't know. As if he doesn't know the actual fucking answer.
And they got upset about it.
I wonder why. Were they just weird, creepy, stinky?
I don't know.
I'll watch it.
I wonder if we can watch this documentary. Because it might not be graphic. Sounds interesting.
It's
maybe tomorrow.
It's a little bit out there.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good members content.
Look at that. Maybe I got to become a member. You become a member of H3, you could watch fucking porn on YouTube? Okay. Sign me up.
Very interesting, though. The documentary is great. I recommend watching it.
So I guess if you think of it like a social experiment, I guess it's interesting.
Yeah.
100 guys. How do you even vet these guys? Presumably, were they using protection?
Yes, when they were having sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how much Love knows? Love knows way too much. Love knows way too much. I'm telling you. He's like, they were using condoms. They were not using condoms. He had a doggy style. The first guy, he did missionary. The second guy, he had one leg up. The third guy, he did a reverse, you know? Like, he knows, like, every fucking detail of this shit. Like, this is worrying.
Okay, that's good.
Did you bring condoms?
That's good. Well, then they were finishing in the condom, so there was probably no ejaculate.
Some weren't. They
weren't.
On her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dude, that detail that the documentarian gagged when he went in the room is nuts.
Ooh, I forgot about that part, dude. The documentarian walked into the room after it was done. He almost gagged. What the fuck? Like, he was legitimately could not take the smell. Dude, imagine that. Imagine what's going through this girl's head to want to do this anyway. Like, it's one thing to do some OnlyFans. You know what I mean? But when people start doing this freak show kind of shit like this, it like blows my mind. Like I cannot understand that. Like for some clout or something like that. Like I'm sure I seen the girl. I didn't see this video. I seen the girl. She was a pretty girl. Like when you hear this kind of stuff, you thinking about seeing some like sunken-eyed, heroin chic-looking freak like Lana Rhoades, right? That's who you like. You know Lana Rhoades, that porn star. She was fucking Big Mike from the Logan Paul podcast. She was Big Mike's girlfriend until she cheated on him. Go figure. A guy like Big Mike can't even lock down a porn star. Okay, so like she was very like fucked up looking. Like this girl was like very, very. She looked like an empty shell of a person. You know, she kind of still does. Very sunken in eyes, very skinny, pale skin, like all that shit. She looked like, I don't know, like she just looked very down now. Okay, and like that's the kind of person that you expect when you hear like, oh, this girl fucked like 100 dudes in a day, right? The girl that did this, she looked like a college tennis player with like straight A. Like she looked like someone who was like just a run of the mill, like your everyday girl that you would see, like a girl next door, they call that, right? So I'm kind of like, why would anybody even want to do this, right? And then you have the aspect of like, why would anybody want to watch this? And then you have the aspect of, why does my producer know so much about this?
Even Fist Fest, I don't think is make you gag.
Fisting.
Probably.
Maybe. Who knows? I haven't been there. We tried.
Yeah, we got denied, dude.
All right, well, shout out to her. Look forward and good luck.
Look, see what I was talking about? This is her. I mean, if that girl was wearing like a fucking a golf club polo, you would not think twice about this. You know what I mean? You seeing her like semi-naked in this thumbnail right here, you're kind of like, you sure this girl does porn? Like, you know what I mean? She's not like pre-med or something like that, you know?
On the 1,000, we're all rooting for you.
They interview some of the guys too, apparently.
Say what?
They interview some of the guys. Pretty interesting.
So you've seen this documentary?
I saw like half of it posted.
See, this is where this is where love. Finally, Ethan's caught on. Finally, Ethan is like, whoa, wait a minute, buddy. He's like, you know an awful lot about this. He's like, you seen this? You watched this goddamn movie? Like, what is wrong with you? You know, and Love's sitting here like, he's oh no, I don't know how to defend myself like right now because like this was crazy. He goes, I only watch half of it. That's it.
They interview some of the guys too, apparently.
Say what?
They interview some of the guys. Pretty interesting.
So you've seen this documentary?
I saw like half of it posted on Twitter, and I just like went through
curious. I slept with. Okay, all right. Well, they got my attention.
Look at him. You see, he starts like looking back at the crew. He's like, are they looking at me kind of weird? Like he's like, I have to really defend myself until they all buy this.
Posted on Twitter, and I just like went through
curious. I slept with. Okay, all right. Well, they got my attention from all the way down there.
See, that is some Gooner shit. Let's give it up for Love, ladies and gentlemen, and his Gooner shenanigans, you know. Let's see. Let's go and put on a little bit of music here, right? And we're going to take our smoke break a smidge early. Damn, that was a real Bert Kreischer moment. I am so sorry, dude. I just burped into the fucking mic. How embarrassing. That's like Ethan Klein, like embarrassing, bro. Like, I'm sorry. So, let's put on a song and get into a little bit of a smoke break. As always, oh no, we can't. Not this song. We've listened to this song already before. Let's listen to this one. Yes. Okay, so as always, in the middle of every episode of Lost Aux Media, we like to take a little bit of a smoke break. We're going to do a little bit different this time and take a couple smoke breaks, this being the first one. Next on our list, we have LeMaire Lee embarrassing the shit out of himself on his debut on Kill Tony. So make sure you stick around for that. Let's have ourselves a couple puffs, listen to a couple tunes, and then we'll get right back into these segments on Lost Aux Media. Ooh, I like that. So, as I had mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about LeMaire Lee's debut on Kill Tony. He's going to be paired with one of the co-hosts from the Matt and Shane secret podcast, Matt McCusker. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, LeMaire Lee was a former producer of Matt and Shane's secret podcast. Legitimately got fired by Matt and Shane because he sucked at his job. Like, legitimately. Like, I want to say this guy lasted like 10 episodes maybe. And they were like, LeMaire, you're fired. We're hiring this guy, Sean Gardini. Now, Sean Gardini recently had his debut on Kill Tony. And it wasn't that bad. Sean Gardini is an actual comedian. You know what I mean? Like, this LeMaire Lee guy, the only reason this guy is doing anything involved with comedy is because he's good friends with Shane Gillis. You cannot get these nepotism fucks involved deeply in the comedy world because they always get found out real fucking fast. Being a comedian is not like other things. You can fake it till you make it on a mechanic's assembly line in a factory, right? You can't necessarily do that as a comedian. You'll get found out if you're not funny. Excuse me as I indulge. So, this LeMaire Lee guy, same type of shit, right? And like I said, he's joined with Matt McCusker, but Matt's not really supposed to be the star of the show in this one. They're supposed to let LeMaire get his digs in, you know? He's the new guy. So, naturally, you want to help out the new guy by hooking him up with some goddamn airtime, some time on the mic. Every time they give LeMaire fucking the floor, this guy fucking ruins it. And I'm telling you, it's solid gold. So, I won't hold you too much longer. Let's check out Tony Hinchcliffe's intro and see what kind of gay jacket he's wearing today.
This is Redban coming to you live from the Comedy Mothership here in Austin, Texas for a brand new episode of Kill Tony. Give it up for Tony Hinchcliffe!
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their life?
Oh my god, every fucking time with this fucking fag. Look at this. What he's wearing. He's wearing scuba gear. On top of scuba gear. This is actually insane. This guy's wearing like a double wetsuit, you know? The outer layer, Ohio State. Tony is an Ohio boy. So he's kind of trying to flaunt his home state, you know what I mean? Every time you see this guy, though, he's always wearing one of these really tight-ass black Steve Jobs wannabe turtlenecks. And here's the thing. Tony is such a fucking idiot that instead of doing what you normally do with the turtleneck and taking the neck and folding it down, right? He just has it all scrunched the fuck up. Look, so it's like a normal turtleneck. Like if you had it like, you know, unfolded, the neck is like 9 inches long, okay? That's a long daddy. It's a long daddy on that turtleneck, okay? So you're supposed to fold it down. You can't leave it all scrunched up. So he's got 9 inches worth of neck scrunched up between his collarbone and his chin. And it looks like he's got a lot of foreskin. This guy's neck, it looks like his head is almost like the head of a penis coming out of the foreskin. Uncircumcised, of course. And it looks fucked up. So, obviously, you know, let's give it up for Tony's gay outfit. And then he sits there, he goes, he's ready for the best fucking blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Who's ready for the best fucking night of their life?
Yippee! Are you guys excited for this fucking Kill Tony segment? I know I am. Okay. So now, let's check. That was Tony's intro. We always get a kick out of Tony's intros, his crazy little outfits and stuff, you know. I'm taking tips. You know, I'll wear a vest from time to time, a denim. You know what I mean? From time to time, I will wear it. Okay. So we always get a kick out of Tony's intros. Now we're gonna go into LeMaire Lee and Matt McCusker's intros. Let's check these out.
I bring to you a couple of my favorite comedians, a couple of my favorite dogs. Make some fucking noise for the great Matt McCusker and LeMaire. Oh yeah, baby. Fuck yeah. Matt McCusker. The debut of LeMaire.
Now, look at LeMaire, right? What do you notice about him? My man looking awful glossy. My man coming right out the rip, looking awful glossy. And I'll tell you, I'm not the only one who notices.
He's already sweating fucking bullets. Look. What the fuck?
God damn. God damn. I wish I had that soundbite loaded up. God damn. So Tony shakes it, just touches this guy's hand. He's like, what the fuck kind of swamp monster is this? Meow. He's sweating all over my hand. Meow.
Look at this guy. Holy shit. Oh my God, there it goes. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Hoodie off. The forehead is soaked. LeMaire, welcome to the Kill Tony universe.
Well, thank you for having me, Tony. I came here to black out and hear jokes.
I love it. I
Look,
love it. Let's
right out the rip. I came here to black out and hear jokes. You know, this is great. This guy is legitimately talking to Tony as if he's like Forrest Gump and Tony's the president of the United States. Like, this is not how we should be doing this, okay? You know, this is insane. So, let's check this out. Redban. I want to bring up Redban, you know? This is something I want to touch on before we start watching LeMaire fucking bomb up the place, okay? Tony usually is good for shitting all over Redban, like as much as he possibly can. It's kind of fucked up, you know? Anytime Redban even tries to get like a dig in, Redban wants to say a one-liner, Redban hits those good old sound bites, you know what I'm saying? Tony starts getting real fucked up. Redban, you fucking idiot. Stop doing this, man. Like, so every chance that he gets, he like goes out of his way to embarrass Redban or make Redban look stupid. And I kind of find it fucked up because Redban's like a co-owner, starter of the show. You know, did you know Redban also pretty much started the Joe Rogan Experience? So it's not like Redban's like just a nobody. You know what I mean? But to these guys, they kind of use Redban up to their liking, and then once they get what they need out of him and they get big enough, they go, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Rogan did it to him. I'm waiting for Tony to do it to him. You know? So like I said, Redban was Joe Rogan's first producer. Where's Redban on the show now? Redban's Tony's first producer. In a couple of years, where do you think Redban's going to be? Probably out on his ass. So I wanted to, you know, highlight a couple time codes where Redban is actually killing. Like, he actually goes up there and does his goddamn thing. And this, I thought was nice.
This was your brother?
Yes, my brother Jesse. Yes, he was a wild one.
What happened? What happened to Jesse in real life? What's he up to?
So he's dead.
Oh, okay. See, that would have been so, wow, you were quick with that. Did you know he was dead already? No, that was amazing. He just had his hand over the button like, oh, got it.
Dude, you know why Redban did that? You know why Redban was so quick with that goddamn button? Dude, wait until I show you this. I almost forgot about this. Redban had his hand hovering over that button like that because Drew Nikkens bombed his entire minute. This Drew Nikkens guy, he's like one of like the golden ticket winners, the old regulars, you know what I mean? That Tony like fosters on the show. He like brings these guys up and he goes, this one's going to be the next big guy. He did that with Drew Nikkens. He basically took like an actual like Drew has brain damage, like legitimate brain damage. He took a brain damaged man and basically said, check out this little experiment, America. I bet you I put anyone on that stage, anyone at all, and they'll kill. No matter what, no questions asked. Didn't happen with Drew. Tony's been giving this guy every fucking lifeline that he possibly goddamn can. And Drew fucks it up every single time. And it's fucked up because you can't blame Drew. He's retarded. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of got to blame Tony. It's like Tony's using this guy as like his own personal freak show. Like, watch this guy's minute. That's why Redban had his hand over that button waiting for someone to bring up Drew Nikkens' set so that he could bring up that dead bell gong. You know what I mean? Just so happened Drew talked about his dead brother, so it fit. But check out this set. This shit was crazy, dude.
Your first comedian tonight, a golden ticket winner on this show. We don't get to see him that often. He's a growing young boy. He is a wild, growing young boy. Suffered brain damage while in the military. We love him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new minute from Drew Nikkens.
Ooh, look, Drew coming out, hot new haircut, you know, trying to dance his ass off. He's, yeah, guys, it's me and the gang. Like, so he's trying to get like that clapter. He's trying to get everybody like worked up to be like on his side. These were probably all notes from Tony. Tony is like, you really got to get the crowd on your side before you start that minute, buddy. I'm telling you. And notice how Tony, during his intro, he was really building him up. He's like, this guy, he's a growing young boy. He's a growing young boy. He had brain damage in the military. So he's doing all these points, all these like buzzword points to try to get you to feel bad for Drew Nikkens. Because Tony knows that this guy has like a 99.9% chance of bombing on stage. You know? So like hand sanitizer, this guy has a 99.9% chance of bombing, and Tony knows this. So he's trying to prime the audience for it in hopes that the audience will feel bad for Drew and give him some sympathy laughs. It doesn't work, and I love every second of it.
One of my brother's nicknames was Mr. Brittany Griner Jr. His name was Jesse. He was an all-state athlete, but he was wild. He was a combination of Antonio Brown and Kanye West with a sprinkle of Seth Curry. Yeah, he didn't identify as male or female for a week. He thought he was Crash Bandicoot, the video game character. My man escaped 3 mental hospitals on pure athletic ability. I thought he was Mexican the way he was hopping fences.
Oh, see, they get a laugh out of the Mexican joke. Yeah, because Tony's fucking audience is so retarded. They could laugh when like a Mexican guy gets called like a taco, and then another like 40 jokes will slip by. You get fucking nothing but crickets, and then they go, black guy, watermelon, fried chicken. Everyone starts laughing again. That's the kind of shit. Tony goes, Puerto Rico garbage. The crowd cannot fucking hold their tears back because they're laughing so goddamn hard. This guy, he's throwing all these goddamn jokes, references from left and right, from the 90s, from the early this guy is pulling all the stops out of his ass. The crowd is giving him nothing. This guy goes, I thought this dude was a Mexican. They go, oh, God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And you're trying to tell me Tony's audience is not fucking full-blown retarded? Okay.
He reminded me of an outside cat because he would disappear for 4 days. We wouldn't hear a peep from him. But then he'd come back like nothing happened. And then he'd be real hungry. He'd go from Crash Bandicoot to Garfield really quickly. One time he came back, he had a bunch of cardboard, and he proceeded to dance to the Step Up soundtrack for 2 hours. My parents were so worried, they were like,
okay, I can't. I'm sorry, that's enough. I can't. I'm like almost getting like entranced because of like, I was getting like entranced, like at listening to that. I was like about to fall asleep or something just now. I was legitimately getting lost in that. We should have stopped listening to that like 30 seconds ago. You know what I mean? So I apologize for putting you through that. But let's get back to Redban killing. So now you have the context of that. That's why Redban was so hot in that button when Drew Nikkens talks about his dead brother.
This was your brother?
Yeah, yes. My brother Jesse. Yes, he was a wild one.
What happened? What happened to Jesse in
That's who Drew's whole set was about. His brother Jesse.
real life? What's he up to?
So he's dead.
Oh, okay. See, that would have been so, wow, you were quick with that. Did you know he was dead already? No, that was amazing. Just
See, but he didn't know that his brother was dead, but he knew that set was dead. So he had those buttons ready. He had that shit primed. He was like, this guy's comedy career is done. So he was waiting for those.
had his hand over the button like, oh, got it. Fucking nailed it, Redban. Absolutely incredible. We're like Deadban over here. You were just waiting for it. Absolutely incredible with the bell toll. So how long has your brother been dead for?
He passed away 7 years ago.
Okay, 7 years ago. And what exactly happened to your brother?
Okay, so he was like extremely bipolar, like a little bit above Kanye. And
Okay, so now this is where Drew's going to start going off in his little fucking tangent bullshit, right? Like, Tony asked him a simple question. Drew's going to start giving him, like, his whole brother's life story. Tony, like, legitimately had to be like, Drew, I'm only asking you this one fucking thing. Yeah, please, Drew, stay on topic here, Drew, okay? But now this is where Redban starts coming back with that quickness. This is good.
My goodness.
What was the angle of the crash, if you don't mind me asking?
So he got hit by one, and then he spun out like a cartoon character, and then he got hit by another.
So this is what happened to his brother. Tony, I actually had to go to a different time code to get this information for you, right? Legitimately, Tony goes, so what happened to your brother? How'd he die? Drew goes on for 25 fucking minutes. Then we go to the next time code. He finally starts explaining, oh, my brother died in a car crash. So Matt McCusker goes, what was the angle of the crash? And this is where Redban fucking kills.
By one, and then he spun out like a cartoon character, and then he got hit by another, and it made him collapse and like hit his head really hard, and he rolled into a ditch.
Oh, so he hit.
What the fuck?
You gotta admit, that's good shit. Like, you coming in with that, and look, everyone's dying.
Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. Redban making up for 11 and a half years. 11 and a half years he was the weakest link, and now he's thriving, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course, Tony has to take this nice moment for Redban and be an asshole. Go, 11 years, this guy was like the only person on the show we didn't think was cool or funny. Now he's killing. Oh, this is great. Fuck Tony. Let's give it up for Redban. Gotta love that Redban killing every now and then. Now let's cleanse the palate a little bit, right? You got Redban killing, but I told you that LeMaire was bombing. So let's check out some of these bombs. This asshole gets pulled up from the bucket list, right? Just some regular guy comes up, does his little 1 minute set, whatever. Is it good? I don't remember. So that probably means it wasn't good. If you don't remember, it's probably not good. So Tony starts asking him his interview questions. Tony's like, what do you do for a living, buddy? And the guy's like, I write parking tickets. So they all start talking shit about the parking tickets, this, that, and the other. But LeMaire tries to come in with some goddamn one-liners. You know how these guys do. Somebody like this, right? This little fucking doughy little docile white dude with these fucking pale blue eyes, right? Comes up and goes, I'm a parking meter guy. Naturally, on a show like Kill Tony, one of the guys on the panel goes, not only do you write parking tickets, but you're also a fag. And then everyone starts laughing. That's usually how these things go. LeMaire tries to take a stab at that. He goes, I could come in with the one-liner, really make fun of this fucking dude. Wrong.
Right.
It's a good job.
All right. It's a good job. How much did they pay you?
Actually, dude, thank you for your service, for real, though. Like, give it up to him, for real. Thank you for your service. But also, boo, dude. That shit fucking sucks.
You know what the craziest thing is? There's no way in hell that those motherfuckers were booing because of that guy. Like, 90% of the people in this audience don't even know who LeMaire Lee is, okay? I'm pretty sure you don't even know who LeMaire Lee is. Like, once again, I had to explain this to you. Matt and Shane's secret podcast's old producer, this guy got fired after like 2.5 episodes. So nobody knows who he is. So when he starts trying to command the crowd and go, hey, everybody, actually just give it up for this guy, like, it might as well be one of the bucket pools doing that. The crowd's going to be like, fuck you, dude. We don't know you. Like, are you Tony Hinchcliffe? They're going to be like, get out of here, right? So they all start booing. LeMaire thinks it's for him, right? And Tony's like, bro, you're not even talking about the same bucket pool, buddy. LeMaire is legitimately, he goes, thank you for your service. This asshole on stage has never served a day in his life. The other bucket pool that came up before him did. Okay? So LeMaire is sitting there telling the crowd, hey, actually give it up for this guy, thank him for his service, but also he writes parking tickets, so fuck him. Tony's like, bro, you're not even on the right guy. Like, pull it together, LeMaire.
It's a good job. All right, it's a good job. How much did they pay you?
Actually, dude, thank you for your service, for real, though. Like, give it up to him, for real. Thank you for your service. But also, boo, dude. That shit fucking sucks.
When you say thank you for your service, LeMaire, what are you
talking about?
Dude, I mean, he's doing a service, dude. He's doing a job.
No, he's not. His tickets go to one guy. They don't even go to the city. They go to a...
LeMaire totally forgot everything about this interview, looked up, saw the camo, was like, thank you for your service, man.
Look at that. Let's give it up for Bomb 1. This is Bomb 1 from LeMaire. This is a Bomb 1. Trust me. There's more, okay? The very next time code, as a matter of fact, we get into LeMaire bombing again. Now, this is a pretty big party foul on LeMaire's end. I'm telling you now, on a show like Kill Tony, this is a big party foul. I got to stop with these seltzers. This thing is fucking me up today.
To be fair, what do you call black people that buy small amounts of weed? Broke ass nigga. Because look, if we got some money, we going to buy us a little sack or two. You know what I'm talking about?
Look, you got to love that. See, didn't I just get done saying some shit like this? But Kill Tony, the audience, they don't laugh unless some black guy or white guy goes up there and goes, black people are N-words, bro. Like, every black person likes weed and fried chicken with some watermelon, a little Kool-Aid, you know? And they all start like, oh my God. They go, a Chinese person, ching chong chang. Everyone starts their heads start exploding, right? This is why this is cop-out comedy. This is not the shit that, like, people should be like, could you tell any of these jokes at a fucking corporate event? Huh? Could you? No. Okay? And quite frankly, you don't want to hear the jokes coming out of a corporate event either. You don't want to hear any stand-up comedy. I'm telling you, trust me. You don't want none of it. Because it's all shit. The best comedy comes from you hanging out with your friends, some funny stuff happen. You guys are in stitches. People are smacking tables. You ever see those videos online that go viral? It's like two black kids laughing. They're smacking the fucking table. All the shit's shaking. The camera's shaking. That's the best time to laugh. You can't laugh when some fucking asshole sitting on a stage with a microphone going, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? You can't do it. So how do these guys try to do it over at Kill Tony? They try to shock the audience. They try to shell shock the audience by just saying, like, the most whacked out shit. And we all know in 2024, race is a hot button topic. So they start going, hey, black people, N-words and watermelon, Chinese people, slanted eyes and ching chang, Mexicans, tacos. And then the crowds, they start eating and they go, oh my God, this guy's the greatest. Richard Pryor.
All amounts of weed. Broke ass nigga. Because look, if we got some money, we going to buy us a little sack or two. You know what I'm talking about? Shit's crazy as hell. Shout out to everybody, all my weed heads out there.
Yeah, Tony, can we buy weed on YouTube?
Yo, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yo, LeMaire Lee. He's bombing real hard. Now, see, if you don't know the context of Kill Tony, this might not really jive with you. You might be like, what's so weird about that? He asked the question. The guy said, oh, he sells weed to black people, a little bit of amount, broke-ass N-word, you know what I mean? And you would think, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. He just said, hey, Tony, can we buy weed on stage, right? You would think there's nothing wrong with that. The guy's in the middle of his set, right? Part of the Kill Tony format is Every bucket pool gets 1 minute of uninterrupted stand-up. Not even Tony interrupts them. He waits until they're done. The only thing that's going to stop you is that goddamn West Hollywood bear. Okay? So this guy starts throwing off his goddamn comedy set. LeMaire starts asking him questions in the middle of his set. Right away, Matt McCusker is like, yo, LeMaire, shut the fuck. What are you doing, dude? I bet you Matt had to vouch for LeMaire to get him on here. Probably because Tony was in a tight spot on guests, right? But that doesn't mean Tony's in the tightest spot. He could still get someone who's better than LeMaire. So Matt probably legitimately had to vouch for him. So LeMaire's doing this stupid shit on stage. Matt's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, my name is on you right now, goddammit.
Damn crackers. Look, I'll be counseled before Tuesday. I'll be counseled before I even hit the scene. To be fair, what do you call black people that buy small amounts of weed? Broke ass nigga. Because look, if we got some money, we gonna buy us a little sack or two. You know what I'm talking about? Shit's crazy as hell. Shout out to everybody, all my weed heads out there.
Yeah, Tony, can we buy weed on YouTube?
Can we do that?
It's not done.
That's cool. All right, look, between me and you, if we need a 3-5 after the show, you by the bathroom, by the little homeless dude with the 2 dogs, not the 1 dog homeless dude with 2 dogs.
Hell yeah. That part of the show's going to be on BET next week. That's amazing.
Look, Tony coming in. That part of the show is going to be on BET. And the audience naturally going wild, you know? So you got to give it up for LeMaire interrupting an uninterruptible set. Like, how does that happen? It's supposed to be physically impossible to interrupt these guys during their sets. You know what I mean? So what the fuck? Now, check this out, dude. This I thought was fucked up. Remember how I told you Tony likes to be an asshole to Redban all the time? And you think I'm, like, joking about that, right? You think that I'm like, oh, he's probably just making shit up, you know? He embellishes stuff for the show. You obviously see him playing this character during the podcast. He's out acting outlandish, you know? Nobody acts like that in real life. You think that to yourself, right? And you think that I'm, like, fibbing just to, like, make Tony seem worse than he actually is. I'm not. Tony is legitimately an asshole to this guy. You saw Tony being nice to him for once, giving him props because of his jokes. That's because everybody laughed. You know, if everybody didn't laugh during those moments, Tony wouldn't genuinely think that they were funny. He probably would have started shitting on Redban. But because Redban actually got the room for once, Tony was cool about it. But now, in the same show, you're going to watch Tony be the ultimate scumbag to Redban in person, like in live, in front of everyone. And then to make it worse, you would think that maybe they would want to edit something like this out, like they edit out Dave Lucas when he starts arguing with the panelists, right? They don't. They leave this in for Redban to just be embarrassed in front of everyone.
Continues with the re-arrival of D Madness, the only guy that makes 6 entrances per show.
I'm sorry I let it went a little over. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
No, it's fantastic. First of all, Brian has nothing to do with the production of the show whatsoever. Why you would apologize to him, nobody has any idea whatsoever. It's me. It's all me, and I love it.
Oh, it's you? Okay, it's you. Brian has nothing to do with the show, right? What about when Brian does this? What about when you go, hey, Redban, do that thing with the car crash and the fucking shocked me? You know, and Brian goes, boop, boop, boop. He hits all, yeah, just like that. He hits all those buttons, right? What about that? So Brian doesn't do none of that? He doesn't hold the microphone and go, hey, everybody, this is a brand new episode of Kill Tony. You know, he doesn't do none of that? Sounds like Redban's pretty much the co-host of the show. Like, he's got to be like 50-50, and if he's not, oh, that says a lot about Redban, and it says a lot about Tony. Like, because you've been doing this show with this guy for like over 10 years. He's practically the backbone with you. Before you had all these people, all this production crew stuff, it was literally just you and him in a comedy club with a rusty old bucket and some names written in it. And now you're going to say some shit like this. And you don't think that Tony's going to pull a Joe Rogan and kick this guy to the curb the first chance he gets, whatever? You're fucking wrong.
As to him, nobody has any idea whatsoever. It's me. It's all me, and I love it.
Thank
Has Brian ever complained to you about going too long?
No, I just don't want to ruin the format. You know, I want to respect the format.
You can ruin it all you want. Killing is killing, and you, my friend, are an absolute anomaly. Nobody.
Look, I hate when Tony, killing is killing, you're an absolute anomaly. You know, just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? How could you do that? How could you be like that to Redban? Poor sweet Redban, dude. The worst thing this guy's ever done is thrown like 3 Chick-fil-A sandwiches into a blender and drink them like a milkshake. You know what I mean? It's like this guy has done nothing to nobody. You know, he's his own worst enemy. We don't need Tony also being his worst enemy. Like, that's bullshit. So now watch this. We're going to end this Kill Tony segment on LeMaire getting extra horny. I'm talking extra horny. Like, you already saw those 2 bombs, right? Now this guy's about to get horny as hell on this goddamn stage. Like, this girl goes up there, right? And I'm not going to lie. She's hot, okay? But you can't be acting like this live on stage with millions of people watching. Like, this guy is, like, losing his way. You know, every day we stray further from God.
Brianna Vasquez.
Hi, Mr. Tony.
Hello.
Mr. Tony?
Mr. Tony.
Dude, did it move a little? Dude, I want to watch it fucking... I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
Holy shit. Look at his face right now, bro. Look at his fucking face. He goes, she called you Mr. Tony? He goes, did it move a little? Did your dick move? Did it go... When she said that to you, did it go... boop, 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 and it wiggled, it twitched? He goes, man, I'm telling you, Tony, I know you're rich and famous. He goes, please, man, please, I'm telling you, if you fuck this girl, please, I know you're going to fuck her. But if you do, I want to watch, man. He goes, I'm telling you, Tony, I want to watch, please. I'm telling you, Tony, if you fuck this bitch, I need to watch, all right? And this is not, we cannot see this kind of, this guy is getting canceled before he even has his career. You can't do this shit. Now you can't. Now after he acts like this, you can't give him money and fame. Because if you do, he's gonna rape someone. I'm telling you, you can't do this to these kind of people. Okay? Look at his face right here. This is the face before it goes down. Before the girl calls Tony Mr. Tony, right? LeMaire's looking real confident. She says that Mr. Tony, his whole demeanor. You ever see like a nerd in high school, a girl talks to him for the first time, they go, oh shit. They start looking at the floor. They act all awkward and shit. As soon as she calls him Mr. Tony, LeMaire goes right back into like middle school nerd.
Hi, Mr. Tony.
Hello.
Mr. Tony?
Mr. Tony.
Dude, did it move a little? Dude, I want to watch it fucking... I'm sorry.
I saw you at Shane Gillis' show in Portland.
Okay.
Look, so now she's talking to LeMaire. She goes, I saw you at Shane Gillis' show in Portland. That was you, right? You were the only black guy there. That was you, right? And LeMaire, he's so freaked out by like this encounter that he had with this woman that he doesn't want to look her in the eye, right? Watch this.
Dude, did it move a little? Dude, I want to watch it fucking... I'm sorry.
I saw you at Shane Gillis' show in Portland.
Okay,
See? Matt's over there just like a middle school boy. He goes, bro, she's talking to you, man. He goes, bro, I'm telling you, bro, she's talking to you. And now LeMaire looks up. He goes, and it's like 16 Candles or something. There's like romantic music playing and shit. And then he goes and says some stupid shit like this.
Brianna.
I think so, right?
It was Nate Marshall. I'm sorry. It wasn't me.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. Damn, this fucking girl just fucked his whole shit up. Look, if you thought his confidence was fucked after like interrupting the set, bombing a couple times, right? He practically said that he wants to watch Tony Hinchcliffe fuck this poor girl. You know what I mean? In a cuck chair somewhere in some weird hotel room. Like, I might as well all came out of his mouth. Right? That's all embarrassing enough as it is. Then this girl goes, I saw you at the Shane Gillis show I went to a couple months ago. That was you. Like I said, you were the only black guy there on stage. That had to have been you. He goes, I've never performed with Shane before in my life. That was Nate Marshall. I'm sorry, it wasn't me. She mistaken him for another black guy. She did the whole like the Kill Tony audience would die at a joke like this. You know how people go, oh man, all black people look the same. You know, like, or they go, all Chinese people look the same. You know, it's like everyone looks the same to other people. Okay, if you're a Puerto Rican guy, everybody else looks the same. If you're a black guy, everyone who's not black, they all look the same to you. It's like that with everyone, right? So this girl comes over. She goes, I saw you at the Shane Gillis show. He goes, no, you didn't. You saw some other black guy. You just mistaken it for me. Dude, I fucking died when I saw this shit.
Dude, did it move a little? Dude, I want to watch it. Fucking, I'm sorry.
I saw you at Shane Gillis' show in Portland.
Okay, Brianna.
I think so, right?
It was Nate Marshall. I'm sorry. It wasn't
shoot.
me.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. Shane's other black being confused for the other one. That is amazing what we've just witnessed here, ladies and
That's all
gentlemen.
right, Brianna. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Matt.
Look at that. Matt coming in with the save for his good buddy, LeMaire. Dude, that Matt McCusker, bro. That's a real stand-up white. You know, that Matt McCusker, that's a real stand-up white. That's one of those whites that you want to have on your side, you know, for when the shit goes down. So you got to have someone to talk to the cops. So Matt helps out LeMaire, right? LeMaire keeps getting hornier. This girl, like I said, she's beautiful. I mean, look at her. She's a very pretty girl. Don't get me wrong. She's got a rump on her. She's got that Texas fucking 10-gallon hat on. You know what I mean? She's a real innocent, cutesy-looking girl. That girl next door shit that I was telling you about earlier. LeMaire's eating this up. But he's letting, this is where you have their fatal flaw. You cannot let your horniness seep out your pores like this. It's coming out of every orifice of his body. Okay? He is so goddamn horny, you could practically scrape it off of him. And you cannot be like this in public, my friend. You have to learn how to control this shit. We're all horny, all right? We don't act like this.
Men, and I feel like I have a lot of stories to tell.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do one of the stories that you think you should tell here tonight?
I have a lot of stories. Well, let's see.
Did you dance with snakes? You're Pentecostal. They do that.
Yeah, I danced on the floor, soaking tongues, rolled on the ground.
See, so now you see LeMaire, he's like envisioning this in his head. He goes, she was bit by snakes. She spoke in tongues. She's squirming on the ground. She's practically describing LeMaire's like favorite porno right now. You know what I mean? Like so in his mind, he's getting like real worked the fuck up over this. You're practically throwing fucking gasoline on a fire by saying this stuff to him, right? And the way she says it, she like trails off in her words. She's kind of almost sounding sexy when she's saying this. She goes, yeah, I spoke in tongues. I rolled on the floor, you know. And she's doing this. LeMaire don't know what to do with himself. The fact that she's even here, he can't even take his fucking face out of the palm of his hands. He's fucked right now.
You should tell here tonight.
I have a lot of stories. Well, let's see.
Did you dance with snakes? You're Pentecostal. They do that.
Yeah, I danced on the floor, soaking tongues, rolled on the ground.
Okay. So,
and that'll just be after our date.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so hard to find.
we got him.
Yo, LeMaire. Yo, dog. I'm telling you, this ain't a good look, bro. This ain't a good look. I wouldn't be surprised if D Madness somehow got his sense of sight back and came around that table and slapped the shit out of you right now for saying some stupid shit like that. You know, I would actually get a kick out of that.
Wow.
So let's give it up for LeMaire Lee being oh so horny as hell. You know, gotta love that good old LeMaire. Now we're about to get into our next segment. We got David Cross and Mark Norman having some choice words on a good old podcast. But before we get into all that, let's have ourselves a little bit more schmeed. You know what I mean? You guys want to have some bud to get into this goddamn next segment here? Let's put on some tunes real quick and have a little bit of wee, you know? Let's check out this song.
Good vibe like style. Good vibe
All right, let's have a couple more puffs. You know, listen to this tune for just a little bit. We only need the music to get us through the puffs. You guys can't just have me, you know, silence while I'm sitting here getting high as shit for the next segment, right? As soon as we finish with this, we're going to get into this Mark Norman and David Cross situation, right? I'm telling you, when you hear the shit coming out of David Cross's mouth, it's going to blow your goddamn mind. All that and more coming up later on Lost Aux Media. So check this out. David Cross has this podcast called Senses Working Overtime, right? And I don't really know how long this show has been around. I didn't even know it exists. I saw this clip of an interaction that Dave and Mark Norman had on the podcast on like Twitter. And it was so fucking outlandish that I was like, I gotta check out whatever the fuck this situation is. Turns out Dave has his own podcast. It's been on for however long. And Mark is probably the only guest I'd even be interested in watching. Like, aside from Arrested Development, you should not be watching anything with David Cross in it, okay? This guy sucks. Like, and he's a stand-up. Could you picture the fucking Tobias from Arrested Development on stage? Like, I blew myself, huh? Like, you know, it's like, what are we doing? So, without any spoilers, you know, I saw that clip, and it turned me on to the Senses Working Overtime podcast. And right from the rip, this was probably one of the more awkward podcasts that I've seen. Like, almost Rick Glassman, take your shoes off-esque type shit. Watch this.
This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey Dave, Mark, nice to meet you. Meet me? Well, you did my phone. Shit. What the fuck?
Wait, what? Did you guys hear that right? Listen to this shit. This is a power play move. In my opinion, this is a power play move on Dave's part. Mark goes in. Mark goes, hey Dave, what's up? What's going on? Comedy, right? And Dave goes, hey, Mark, nice to meet you. He goes to shake his hand real calm-like, right? Mark goes, nice to meet you. He goes, you did my whole podcast. We sat around for like almost 2 hours, man. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Comedy. Like, don't you remember that? Dave's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, as if Mark is like legitimately a stranger. Like, you would know if you met someone and did their entire podcast, right? Okay, so what the fuck?
Hey Dave, Mark, nice to meet you. Meet me? Well, you did my phone. Shit. Okay, go ahead. What? Or you saw that?
The hesitation? Well, you.
No,
yeah, exactly. You just made an assumption, I think. That's all right.
I did. But go ahead.
Look at that. He goes, you made an assumption. What? So they have two microphones set up, right? Mark walks in from the left side of the room, and Dave is standing in front of the chair on the left side of the room. So Mark walks over to that chair and goes, hey, man, I guess I'm sitting here, right? Dave automatically, to make this even more awkward than it is, he goes, oh, well, you just made an assumption. He goes, what? He even looks over at his wife, who's the fucking producer. If your wife is a producer of your show, kill yourself, okay? He looks over at his wife. He goes, oh, you saw that, right? Like, as if Mark, like, just got done stealing his wallet, right? So Mark goes, whoa, is everything cool, man? Like, he goes, oh, you just made an assumption, but it's cool. I'll sit over here. I'll sit over here. It's fine. As if, like, Mark just got done, like, kicking his dog or something. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You just made an assumption, I think. That's all right.
I did.
But go ahead and sit there.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
Back in the red chair now? That's okay. But is that what you want? Because I know you.
No, I wanted these two. Are we able to do that?
I switched it back for you this.
Look, now his wife is being fucking retarded. She goes, oh, would you want to sit in those chairs? Oh, I thought we were going to do these chairs over here. Bro, the microphones are set up over here. They're screwed in already, okay? What are you going to do? Are you going to really fucking make Mark sit there for fucking 20 minutes and go, oh, I'm sorry, we got to reconfigure the whole set. You know, we got to do the whole thing. Like, what are you, fucking high? So they do this shit to Mark right from the rip. This is like one of the more awkward things I've ever seen. Watch this in its entirety. This is like crazy.
Hey, Dave. Mark, nice to meet you. Meet me? What you did my phone? Shut. Okay, go ahead. What? Or you saw that?
The hesitation? Like you.
No,
you wanted
yeah, exactly. You just made an assumption, I think. That's all right.
I did.
But go ahead and sit there.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in the red chair now. That's okay. But is that what you want? Because I know you.
No, I wanted these two. Are we able to do that?
I switched it back for you this time.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So yes, you can have the blue chair or the red chair.
All right.
Look, she goes, I could switch it back for you. No, you can't. What, you gonna take fucking 25 minutes to unscrew all that shit, figure it out, to rerun the wires? No, okay? Like, get your wife out of here, Dave. Like, what the fuck? So now, this is what's funny. They start talking about other shit. It still is like this whole, like, Dave kind of, like, trying to pull these power play moves on Mark, right? And it just gets, the tension gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And, like, Mark starts saying his regular old comedy shtick. Like, you know, Mark's like, Jews, Chinese people, chink, you know, comedy, you know. And he says something, and Dave legitimately tells him to be careful. And this is a good foreshadowing moment of what's to come.
Yeah, I gotta say, Atlanta, great comedy town. Much
Yeah.
like New Orleans, hard to get a pinpoint on Atlanta because it's southern, but it's very super progressive, black, gay, but very industrious too, but still kind of.
When you say industrious too,
Well,
I
they
don't
got
know if you-
skyscrapers.
Right. I think you
Is
want to
that
be
the wrong
careful. Yeah, you want to be careful about saying it's got black people and gay people, and also people who work hard.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like it's a
I know
booming
you don't. That's
metropolis.
why I'm clarifying it for the audience.
Yeah.
So he goes, you gotta be careful, man. You gotta say New York is like, it's like black people, gay people, and people who work hard. You know, the way you're saying it, you're kind of like marginalizing poor people here, man. Like, this is not fucking cool, man. Like, now, pay attention to that and hold on to that in your mind. I want you to really hold on to that.
But very industrious too, but still kind of.
When you say industrious too,
Well,
I
they
don't
got
know if you-
skyscrapers.
Right. I think you
Is
want to
that the
be
wrong
careful. Yeah, you want to be careful.
So Dave is treating the word industrious as if it's the N word, you know? He's treating the word industrious as if that's like the worst thing you could call a poor person. I'm poor. I mean, I would imagine a couple of us are poor in here, right? If somebody called you industrious, would you be like offended? You wouldn't even know. You'd be like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? I don't think you would be offended. I don't think you'd be like, whoa, man, I've never been called anything worse than that in my life. Dave is sitting here treating it as if it's like the worst thing Mark could call a person. Watch this.
A pinpoint on Atlanta because it's southern, but it's very super progressive, black, gay, but very industrious too, but still kind of.
When you say industrious too,
Well,
I
they
don't
got
know if you-
skyscrapers.
Right. I think you
Is
want to
that
be
the wrong
careful. Yeah, you want to be careful about saying it's got black people and gay people, and also people who work hard.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like it's a
I
booming
know you don't. That's why I'm
metropolis.
clarifying it for the audience
Yeah.
so that they don't.
You got your honky, you got your camo.
You got black people and gay people, and it's a city, is what you mean. Oh wait, you're.
See, so now he's trying to do all this. You got black people, gay people, and it's a city, you know? Like, you have to be more inclusive, man, when you talk, bro, because the audience, like, they don't pick up on this shit, man. Now watch this. Dave coming with those power play bullshit, right? Watch how Mark fucking responds to this. Mark is a very, like, let it all fly, you know, live and let die kind of guy. You know, so when he does stuff, he expects people to not care about it, just like when other people do shit around him, he doesn't care about it. You know, Mark doesn't give a fuck about nothing. So, like, he thinks, like, live and let lie. I treat people the way I should be treated. I don't care about what other people do, so why do people care about the stuff that I do? But Dave doesn't like this kind of shit. Mark is one to, like, do all these, like, weird things during an interview, right? And most people just let it go, or they try to go with the flow of, like, Mark's shtick. Dave, not so much. Watch this.
There was another thing. The Country Music Academy had some.
Jesus.
It was nuts. It was, and I ended up staying and thank God, because I think initially I was going to stay down there, and then I ended up staying somewhere else because the hotel rates were insane, you know. But man, what a fucking nightmare that.
Sorry.
Look at this asshole. Look at this jamoke. Dave's trying to tell this heartfelt story about how he doesn't want to pay for hotels because they're too expensive, despite the fact that he's rich as fuck, right? And Mark sits there and farts in his face. Dave has been trying to, like, help Mark out this whole interview. He's like, yo, be careful about the way you talk about poor people, man. Like, I'm trying to hook you up. Make sure that nobody jumps down your throat or nothing like that, you know, due to the shit that you say. And Mark turns around and farts right in his goddamn fucking face. I was elated when I saw this. The big theme for this episode is people that you hate because of their face, okay? Like, and Dave is very much someone that I hate because of his face. Ethan Klein, hate him because of his fucking face, okay? Matt McCusker, I like Matt. LeMaire Lee, hate him, okay? Tony Hinchcliffe, you know I hate the fucking lobster, you know?
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
I hate all of them. Dave is no different. Dave is an asshole. So when Mark farted in his face, I loved it.
It was, and I ended up staying and thank God, because I think initially I was going to stay down there, and then I ended up staying somewhere else because the hotel rates were insane, you know. But man, what a fucking nightmare that.
Sorry. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I'm with you on that one. Oh, we lost Cross.
Oh, look at Cross. Look, if that's all it takes to get David Cross out of the room, I will applaud you for that, Mark. Like, you should sell that secret, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who'd be willing to use it anytime they're in contact with Dave. Like, so Mark farts, Dave leaves the fucking room, right? And Mark's like, oh, man, we lost Dave, man. I thought you were a comedian, bro. What happened? When Dave sits back down, he starts lacing into Mark about this. Watch this.
I had an egg wrap earlier. The egg, it'll get you. Sorry, I should have given you some warning there, but I think I tilted it to the right.
If you gave me a warning, I would have said you go out. I'm not going out.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to clear Emma out of here. You're the one who needs to go out and fart in your own face.
That's true. Sorry, I did direct it to the right a little.
No, you didn't. You went this way.
I went right leg up.
No,
didn't I? Check
roll
the
it back.
tape.
Roll it
back. Don't really roll it back.
That's fucking disgusting.
Sorry. Well, I figured you're a comedian.
No,
you like a good fart joke.
But that wasn't a joke. It was just a fart.
Well, a fart is
you're a comedian. You'd like a good fart.
A fart is a joke in itself, is it not? It's my butt made a noise.
Okay, this is where he's wrong. Okay? A fart is not a joke. Okay? A fart was never a joke. A fart is meant to be expelled, like, in the furthest corners of society. Like, you should not be farting just around anyone. You know what I mean? I could have a wife of 50 goddamn years. I wouldn't fart in front of her once. And if she farted in front of me, I'd get a divorce, okay? So don't come at me saying that farts are jokes. If somebody comes over to me, farts like that in my face, I'm calling the fucking cops. Okay? And I'm going to tell them, hey, you either come and pick this guy up or I'm gonna. Like, something's going to happen to this guy. So we're going to need you guys here either one way or another. You either get him out of here or you call an ambulance, because I'm going to fucking kill him. You cannot do this shit to me. Okay? It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Okay? To be farting like that next to people, you should never fart. I don't even know why God made it a thing for people to fart. Farts should just get sucked back up into your body and just disappear. It should be used as energy to fuel you. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't even eat. Your farts should all just get sucked back in and be converted into fuel for your mind and your body to keep going. You know, they shouldn't be leaving your body, okay, in front of anyone. And if you're sitting at home farting by yourself, do not let me find out you're sitting at home and farting by yourself, I swear.
Boy, you're gonna be a great dad.
I can't wait.
Oh boy.
Does your wife fart?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Mine.
So now Mark goes, hey, did your wife fart, man? I thought we were comedians, man. I thought you were supposed to be cool, dude. So now watch. You think Mark was done with that, right? He ain't. He does this shit to Dave again. Watch this shit.
I don't ever go out there going, fuck you, assholes. I'm not like Red Fox on that famous story.
You have a little Larry David in you.
Yeah.
That kind of like, this isn't going to work out. Let's go nuclear.
Yeah. For sure. But I always give it a shot. Always. And I pride myself in, winning them back. We getting people back. So, and I wouldn't be at the place I'm at now if I didn't.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Well, you're a rare breed where you can do the silly stuff. Where you can do the stand up, but you can also paint yourself.
Look at Dave's fucking face. Dave is like, bro, is this guy serious, man? He's like looking at his wife. He's like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, why'd you book this guy, bro? Like, is he serious? And Mark is sitting there like an asshole. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like with Dave in these last two time codes. Like, you cannot be doing this shit, especially on a podcast. And you know what's ironic? In the beginning of the podcast, after that weird intro that I showed you, Dave goes, hey, Mark, you want anything to drink? He goes, yeah, man, I'll take a glass of water and no ice, right? And Dave goes, well, why don't you want any ice? He goes, oh, well, the ice clinks together and the audio on the podcast, the ice. I don't want the ice clinking together for the audio. But you'll shit your pants and fucking burp all into the microphone? Like, what the fuck is that? What kind of logic is this shit? So when I saw Dave giving Mark a little, back and forth, when I saw Dave looking over at his wife like this, I said, Dave, pull out the Smith & Wesson. And fucking shoot this man. Like, he's coming into your house and violating your space like this. You got to do something about that. You cannot let this man live.
So, yeah.
Well, you're a rare breed where you can do the silly stuff. Where you can do the stand up, but you can also paint yourself blue.
What the fucking?
That's me.
What? Did you miss bro time or something? What happened? Did you not get to watch the football game yesterday?
I don't watch football.
Well, that's all right. Why don't you start watching football, and then you could save all your burps and your farts for the game.
All right. I didn't know this was tea time over here at the Cross residence.
Ooh, so now both of them coming back with some fire at each other. I like this. I would have liked to see both of them start fucking each other up. Like, if they would have just both got up and started fucking clobbering the shit out of each other, it would have made it the best day ever. I would have subscribed to this podcast 10 times over. I would have made 100 dummy accounts, subscribed them all to this podcast, just so I can get 101 notifications every time a new episode comes up. If only that was the case. If only that was the case. So Dave comes over here. He goes, bro, would you miss fucking bro time, bro? Like, save that shit for the fucking football, man, when all you fucking muscleheads get together and you guys all collectively have an IQ of like fucking 60, okay? And you save all those farts and burps for that shit. He looks over his wife, he goes, what the fuck is going on here? And Mark, now I'm back over on Mark's side. I was on Dave's side. Now I'm back on Mark's side. I'm flip-flopping. Mark goes over, he goes, whoa, bro, what the fuck is this tea time, dude? Like, what are you guys all fucking fags over here at the Cross residence, man? He's like, we're supposed to be comedians, man. What the fuck? Like, I love that. I love that they're both standing their ground on this. This is what I like about this. If only they just beat the fuck out of each other.
That's me.
What? Did you miss bro time or something? What happened? Did you not get to watch the football game yesterday?
I don't watch football.
Well, that's all right. Why don't you start watching football, and then you could save all your burps and your farts for the game.
All right. I didn't know this was tea time over here at the Cross residence.
What
is this, Downton Abbey? Etiquette class? I thought we were just hanging out. She queefed earlier.
That's not true.
All right.
No,
Ooh, he calls out Dave's wife for queefing. I love that. I love that. So now check this, dude. This is the banger. This one had me, I was like shocked, dude. Legitimately shocked. I know I say that a lot on the show, and it's just for the effect. You know, I just over-exemplify shit. This is a show. This is for entertainment. This legitimately had me shocked. I was like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? David Cross? Coming in with the fucking IDGAF, dude. Okay. Like, I like this kind of energy that we're seeing coming from Dave. Wait until you see the shit that I'm going to show you. Wait till you, oh my God.
Yeah, you know, like, I came up with that.
Yeah.
That was me.
We should do that sketch. That'd be a great sketch. The racist joke savant who gets no credit.
Man, Bob had a really...
Okay. So now they were sitting there having like reminiscence, okay? Like, Dave used to be on a show called like Mr. Show or something like that. He did it with Bob Odenkirk, you know, like Better Call Saul from Breaking Bad, you know. You guys remember that? He had that other show, Better Call Saul. Great show. Watch both of them, I'm telling you. So Dave is reminiscing about this Mr. Show times, you know, when he used to hang out with Bob Odenkirk. They would come up with skits together, and they're talking about old ideas, and Mark Norman is sitting there going, man, we should do sketches like together about that shit, you know, like you used to do back in the day. And Dave starts to talk about an old sketch idea that they had, right? And when he goes to talk about it, like this is an old sketch from like 1990, right? They're having like these ideas back in the day where you could say a bunch of different shit online. Well, not online. Online didn't exist. You could say a bunch of different shit on TV. Like, and if you think I'm lying, search for the show Drawn Together and watch that. That is a very good example of the late 90s to early 2000s television that I'm talking about here. So back then, you could say a lot of shit. Dave starts reminiscing about this stuff and uses some awfully colorful language while he's doing it. And when you hear it, it's going to shock you.
And there's somebody at, you know, like, I came up with that.
Yeah.
That was me.
We should do that sketch. That'd be a great sketch. The racist joke savant who gets no credit.
Man, Bob had a really good idea for a sketch we never ended up doing about all the hip hop guys were getting they would go visit this like old Southern racist guy on his porch in, you know, Georgia or wherever. And it was basically, he would take, you know, their lyrics and he's like, oh, niggas ain't shit, but da-da-da, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just hear? Bro, Dave coming in fucking hot. Dave is crazy, bro. This is the whitest guy you've ever met, you know? He says, N-words ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Man, oh my God. And the way he's delivering it, I could not think of a more racist thing in my mind. And the only reason I say it is because Dave looks like this. And he's an asshole. You know? So you cannot be bald as fuck like this. Beard white as fuck like that. Okay? And then on top of that, the only thing not gray on you is your mustache, right? You barely have any eyebrows. You're a fucking fag. And then you come out and you say that. What are we supposed to do here? Like, what are we supposed to do with this information? I'm watching this podcast. This is like a force of physics, right? This is an inauthentic force. This is what happens when an inauthentic force meets an unfunny object, okay? You get this. And this is the aftermath of that.
A really good idea for a sketch we never ended up doing about all the hip hop guys were getting they would go visit this like old Southern racist guy on his porch in, you know, Georgia or wherever. And it was basically, he would take, you know, their lyrics and he's like, oh, niggas ain't shit, but da-da-da, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they would all sit there and listen and write it down, and then they go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a great sketch.
It was a good idea. Yeah.
That's very Chappelle showy.
Yeah. Pre-Chappelle.
Pre. But I like that.
Yeah.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No, because it's the A. It's the AH.
Bro. So now Mark is sitting here trying to throw this guy a bone, bro. He's like, dude, you gonna bleep that, man? That was like kind of crazy, bro, for like you to just like say that shit to me like that. And Dave's like, no, I'm not gonna, it's the AH, Everyone's cool with that. That's how disassociated this guy is from the rest of the world. I talk about this all the time. These Hollywood types, they get caught up in these fucking bubbles, right? They get surrounded by nothing but Hollywood types, all rich people that really don't know how to interact with your everyday common man because they're never around them. They are no longer the everyday common man. They're stuck in like a fantasy world, like Los Angeles. They have tons of money. They're not around people like you and me, N-words. They're not around us. You know what I mean? So like they don't know. Dave has probably met like a total of 5 black people in his entire life. So when he says, well, all the black people say AH, you know what I mean? Like, I should be able to say it too. And Mark's sitting there going, no, buddy, I'm sorry, man. That's not how that works. You should think about bleeping it.
Pre-Chappelle.
Pre. But I like that.
Yeah.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No, because it's the A. It's the AH.
I don't know if that.
Dave's looking over at his wife. He's like, well, me and my wife, we say it all the time around the house. He's like, yeah, if we can say it, I'm pretty sure anyone can say it.
Flies.
Yeah, AH.
Okay. It's your show. See,
it is my show.
Ooh. This, I'm telling you, if you don't think David Cross is an asshole, like there's something wrong with you, okay? Like the rest of us are fine. If you don't think David Cross is a total asshole, you're the problem.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No, because it's the A. It's the AH.
I don't know if that flies.
Yeah, AH.
Okay. It's your show. See,
it
to
is
me,
my show.
That's worse than farting.
I disagree. I don't think when you're in the context of this idea, I think you should be able to communicate it as it's intended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
okay.
right.
I'm not a big proponent of that. Like if you're literally quoting somebody,
yeah,
you should quote them. You should say that. And if you have a issue with that, you should. Then good, you have an issue with it, and it makes you feel a certain way.
Look, now, this is great. This asshole, legitimately trying to defend himself over this. You have another white telling you, yo, bro, this isn't cool, man. This isn't how we operate, bro. Like, you could get real beat the fuck up out in New York for that, we don't do that shit around there. Dave is, like, legitimately justifying this point to him, right? And you go, okay, Dave's eventually going to come to some sort of crossroad, and then he's going to segue into the next subject to try to smooth this whole thing over, right? Wrong. Dave does probably the most gangster shit I've seen in a long-ass time. Watch how he handles this.
Quoting somebody.
Yeah.
You should quote them. You should say that. And if you have a issue with that, you should. Then good, you have an issue with it, and it makes you feel a certain way.
I'm not offended. I just worry about people getting mad at you.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. I respect that.
It's fine. People are always, somebody somewhere is always going to be mad at me.
That's true.
That's fine.
That's true.
Mark, I'm going to have to wrap it up because I am parked on 17th and 4th.
You got the baby in the car.
And, yep, and it's hot out.
Uh-huh.
So I end every episode with a question from my daughter.
Oh, my fucking...
Okay.
So this fucking asshole, he goes, hey, man, come in here. I'm going to basically bitch you around for a little bit. You're going to burp. You're going to fart. I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable as fuck. I'm going to say the N-word in front of you, right? And then you can fuck off. Episode's over. Goodbye. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? Like, get pretty gangster. I'm not gonna lie. That's really, there's no other way you can handle that. You want to know the craziest shit about this? And nobody said a word about this online. Roseanne Barr is the only one bitching about this shit online, goddamn. I'm looking for Dave Cross fucking shit on Twitter. Fucking the only people on there bitching is Roseanne Barr. She goes, "Oh, this guy was fucking talking shit about when I said the N-word. Now look at him. I go and say the N-word back in 2022 when it was cool, and this guy is saying it in 2024. Who's fucking batting an eye?" She's pissed off. She goes, "Why ain't y'all giving this guy the works like y'all gave me?" You know? And Roseanne's Jewish. You know what I mean? Like, we got to do better. We got to do better, guys. I'm telling you. So we're going to end the show on this last segment. This one's going to be streamer Destiny's appearance on the Adam Freidland Show. Let's give it up for the old cuck Destiny. Now, I'm going to be honest with you both. I don't know too much about either of these guys. They are both people that I hate because of their faces. Remember, I told you this was going to be a theme. So, I know Adam, he has his Adam Freidland Show. He came from a podcast called Cumtown. Could you imagine that? A podcast called Cumtown, right? It's also where Stavros Halkias came from. Stavros Halkias coming up on Lost Aux Media. So, these guys, these guys already got a bad track record as it is. Then you get a guy like Destiny in the mix, this cuck streamer, this gaming streamer who became far left enthusiast / political debater. He's trying to become like one of these Hassan Piker types, but far, far left. Like far enough to where like Destiny's like legitimately sucking dicks now. I'm telling you, like, you know how people always make those jokes? They go, "Oh man, these liberals, man, they're out there sucking dicks. They're like total pussies." Like Destiny is legitimately one of those. He's like that stereotype. People say it as like a derogatory term, as a pejorative to other people. No. Destiny is like the embodiment of that, So I see these two getting together in an interview to like have an actual adult discussion. Kind of makes you think a little bit, right? So now let's start the segment on Adam's intro.
Our next guest is a prominent streamer. He's amassed over 1 million subscribers across platforms. Everyone, please welcome Destiny. How are you?
I'm good.
Let's talk. Okay, so you don't have to. Okay, let's talk about so your prep process before this. So you did a deep dive. Wait, so what's your conclusion?
Now watch. This is good. We need this information right here. You have to pay attention to like the other signs. Aside from what they're saying, you have to also pay attention to what they're doing. When I'm filtering this stuff for you guys, that's why. It's because you watch, you might just listen, you might be doing other shit around the house. You might actually just watch, and you might not actually like pay attention to these small key details. These things that tell you more about the situation as it's happening, right? So if you pay attention to this, you can see these two have the demeanor and the body language of someone who wants to be on the upside of this podcast, this argument, this conversation, if you will, right? So Adam naturally is trying to look very laxed, very settled in. He's on his home turf, sitting like a queer. I expect Tony Hinchcliffe to be sitting like this. He's got one leg crossed over, but not in the good way. When you cross your legs, right, you want to have your ankle at the top of your knee and your knee all the way over to the other side. You want to practically be man-spreading while your legs are crossed. You do not want to cross them like a woman, okay? That's what Adam's doing right here. Sorry, I'm fucking full of just bullshit today. So this is what Adam's doing right here. He's crossing his legs like a woman, but he's got very commanding energy and demeanor and posture and all that good stuff. Destiny over here really trying to stand his ground. He's trying to sit as straight up as he possibly can. This isn't a gamer chair that he's sitting in, so he's having a little bit of trouble. He's got his, hands crossed, but right in between his lap, legs nice and wide open. He's got a good stance, okay? So these two are very much at odds with each other right now, but they're trying to play it cool.
I think pretty good.
For like,
you're a big fan though?
For you guys?
Not you, no, me.
You know, I give you like a 50-50.
But like you think pretty fire, no? The interviews?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, you like the one with Jadakiss?
Fuck, man, I didn't watch that many. I watched 2. I watched the Cuomo one, and I watched the Finkelstein one.
I thought you do hours and hours of documents and research.
No.
See, so right now, they're trying to swing dicks at each other. You know what I mean? Adam's sitting there going, you did your research on me, right? How'd you like my stuff, right? And he starts asking him all these questions about different episodes. Destiny's like, bro, I watched 2 fucking episodes. He's like, bro, chill the fuck out here. Like, I got a life, bro. I don't give a fuck about you. I'm just here to get this thing over with, you know? The reason they even did this is because Adam somehow ended up on one of Destiny's streams not long ago, kind of made an ass out of him. You know what I mean? So this is pretty much, you know, Adam being like, hey, why don't you come on to mine? I'll try to make an ass out of you again. I'm surprised Destiny even fell for this shit, right? So Destiny is one that's pretty much known online for taking a lot of L's, right? He's been divorced like 2 different times. One of those marriages was like a lot of cuckery going on, like legitimate cuckery. Once again, I'm not saying it as a joke with him. Like Destiny used to like sit in a chair in the corner. His wife would get like fucked by somebody. He'd be like cool with it. She'd be doing like Onlyfans. He'd be cool with it. You know, this is like not a guy that should be trusted in the geopolitical space. You know what I mean? It's a guy whose head is like way off of his shoulders right now. So they're both trying to take stabs at each other. So Destiny is like, I don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Adam's about to start asking Destiny, have you ever lost a debate? Bro, Destiny's losing in life every fucking day. You know, look at that, I hit one of my lights. Just 2 days ago, maybe even a week ago, something. Bro, they were spreading a fucking video around this Destiny guy was sucking somebody's dick online. You know, so like this guy's taking L's every day. Ask Adam asks him, hey man, you win debates normally? Listen to what he says.
I don't know if I'd say I'm naturally smart.
You're pretty smart at like...
I'm decently smart. I'm probably a bit smarter than average, but I can sit in front of a computer and for 8 hours a day, like learn stuff and then argue about it with people, which is like the best way to reinforce what you learn, so.
I mean, you made a lot of money from arguing against,
I'm really
right?
good at it, okay, sure.
You're really good. What's your record?
Undefeated.
Never catching a no?
Absolutely never.
Is there a time where you're like, I got...
Never catching an L. Destiny, did we forget about the dick sucking video that I literally just talked about 5 seconds ago? Okay. So this guy's like, I've never caught an L, you know? I'm never catching an L. And he's catching L's right now. Adam, just you getting on into this room with Adam, this is an L. You can't win with a guy like Adam. He's annoying as fuck. Picture like Matan Evan, but he actually knows how to speak English. You know what I mean? And like, he's not as confusing as Matan. You know, this guy tries to be a little more wittier than Matan when it comes to how he's making an ass out of people. You know, he tries to take the intellectual route. Matan's all about gags, like bringing weirdos in, but Matan's like Borat. You know what I mean? Adam Freidland's trying to play chess while Matan's playing checkers. So you step foot on this podcast set, you're taking it out. You know what I mean? Now, watch this. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. How you're not gonna win stepping foot on this set. He starts asking Destiny how he got into streaming and like what his job was like beforehand, right? He goes, Destiny, weren't you fired from like your first job that you had before you became a streamer? Watch what happens.
So you dropped out of school?
Yeah.
Okay, why? Because you sucked at music?
I was working a lot.
So within a year you were fired from your job, which you attribute to your difficulty navigating workplace politics and understanding others' emotional experiences.
Jesus, who wrote that sentence?
Wikipedia, according to Wikipedia.
Okay. I had an issue on my night shift, and then it was not being stalled by I did graveyard, and the swing people weren't setting me up for something. It had to do with like cleaning out the bottom of a soda machine. Every time I would come in, and if they were good, they would immediately get poached after.
Look at that. They just crossfaded to another scene. They're doing a time-lapsed montage of Destiny explaining how he got fired from one of his old jobs. Adam's sitting there looking like he wants to put a bullet in between his teeth, right? And this is what I'm talking about. You're going to take an L on this. They're going to make you look like the hugest asshole.
I train them, and then I come into HR, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm getting fired from my job. This is not me at all. And like, well, what I didn't realize at the time was that email the one up in CC. In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's like an accountability thing, so everybody's not me at all. And like, well, let's go through these write-ups. And then she's like, did you come in 2 minutes?
Okay, so then you.
Adam just changes the whole subject. He goes, bro, we don't have time for this bullshit, bro. I'm sorry, we don't have time for this. Next subject, thank you. So then he asked this asshole, what does winning a debate look like to him, right? What, in your eyes, you win a debate, what does that look like to you? And then this is what we get.
What is winning?
The other person deletes their account after.
If they
or gets fired from their job.
Humiliated.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel after you win?
I feel on top of the world.
It feels great.
It's like doing cocaine for the first time again. Every time.
Because you...
Bro, what the fuck? So look, this is what I'm talking about. This Destiny guy, dude, I barely know him. He's saying some shit like this. This is not a good look for you, man. You cannot be out in the world like sucking dicks and posting them online, getting cucked by your girlfriend, being like, yo, man, I'm a far left, like, libertarianist, and start and debating people online like Jordan Peterson. You going after Ben Shapiro. And you say winning looks like people getting fired from their jobs, people getting downright humiliated, people deleting their accounts. Bro, you doing it for the wrong reasons. You like a diabolical, not genius. You're just like a diabolical cuck loser. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot do this stuff. You know, like, and hearing stuff like that come out of his mouth, I was like, dude, Adam has got to put a stop to this. Adam's got to try to make this guy look like an asshole as best as he possibly can. Adam kind of doesn't. Towards the end of this interview, Adam starts like getting serious. You know what I mean? And this is where I start to, you lose me on this, because a guy like Adam Freidland, you're not supposed to get serious like this. You cannot have this guy on your show and start like asking him like real questions and then thinking that you're going to come out on top of this. Watch, Adam starts getting serious with this guy. He derails himself completely. And Destiny actually almost starts taking the reins on this and starts turning it around to make Adam look like an asshole on his own show. And this is where you fucked up. You stay comedy. If you're a comedian, you stay comedy. You don't do no Dave Smith shit and start trying to talk to Anthony Cuomo about what's happening in fucking Israel Gaza Strip. You know what I mean? This is not your place. You're a clown. Stay in the fucking rodeo.
And I think, understandably so.
Demographic study of what people lost, reparations for what they lost.
Do you think
Truth and Reconciliation Commission
for the
and one man, one vote?
Do you think that for the Jews that left all the surrounding Arab states, do you think they should all pay reparations as well?
What?
Do you think all the surrounding Arab states should pay reparations to all the Jews that fled as well?
I mean, like, yeah, I guess so. Jews got fucking reparations for the Holocaust.
Yeah, but not from all the surrounding Arab states.
You started reading a book in October, and now you think you're fucking William Shakespeare. That's the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Look at Destiny. Destiny knows it. Destiny's got that lisp, you know, he's got that tongue that's not completely detached from the bottom of his mouth. He goes, I think I got him. I think I got him. I think I got him now. I think I got him. Look at Destiny's fucking gut, bro. What the fuck is that? Jesus Christ, dude, this guy. Now, you about to see Destiny practically put Adam in a body bag from this point on. And I just showed you that gut. Oh, man, this is bad. You cannot be getting put in your place by a guy that looks like that, okay? Watch this shit.
Alec Cleanser, let's go through a little rapid fire. Okay, first of all, Drake versus Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Fucking idiot. Drake. They not like us.
Well, Kendrick is
It sounds like fucking Heinrich Himmler saying they
Kendrick
not like
is like
us.
they not like us. They were playing that all over the place.
If it wasn't for this goddamn
war, he was
war,
like, they pushed it on Spotify.
We would have had the entire Jewish media apparatus defending Drake. We would have had Dershowitz on TV saying, like, did you see the goat's meat? He's got a hammer, and it wasn't even fully hard. Goat debate. Yeah.
Got it. Look, right there, Destiny's winning because you had an L take. You taking Drake over Kendrick, bro? Okay. Let's see what happens when you get fucking raped by Andrew Schulz, all right? Yeah, we'll see.
Jordan, LeBron.
For Jordan, obviously.
He's
It was a
fucking
different
idiot.
game back then.
Once again, he's fucking
It was a different
wrong.
game back
Once
then.
again, he's fucking wrong.
LeBron is, it's a totally
He was playing
different...
against guys with commercial driver's licenses.
Oh my God,
He's
they got
playing against
shoes
fucking-
that jump for him now, okay?
he's
It's not
playing
even the
against
same type of
fucking
courts,
bums.
all right? They lowered the
He
hoop
didn't even have a
like
left
2
hand.
feet. Oh my God.
Lowered the hoop. They
Nobody
should have
will
done that in the
ever-
WNBA, I'll
nobody
tell you
will
that.
See, so you can't have these two retards fucking blah, 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 going on, dude. So what are you doing? Adam's trying to take back the reins on this shit. He's having a hard time keeping this guy wrangled in. You know, he can't do it. He can't do it. And watch, they start talking some crazy shit. I think he asked Destiny, like, would you rather be circumcised or uncircumcised or something? Dude, Destiny starts fucking chopping away at this dude. Destiny starts putting him in a fucking body bag. Watch this shit.
Me, my girlfriend, she's been saying that she's against it. I said, does your brother have one? She's like, yes. Circumcision. Does your dad have a circumcision?
Wait,
She's
why
like,
would
yes.
she know that?
Because it's a family.
Look at that. So now they start talking about circumcised, uncircumcised, right? So Adam goes, well, my girlfriend's even getting on top of it. Like, she's talking to me about maybe if we have a kid or something like that, and if we're going to circumcise him or not, right? She says her brother's circumcised. She says her father is circumcised. So now Destiny's like, whoa, back up, time out. He goes, how does your girlfriend know that shit? Now this is where if I was Adam, I'd start getting worried. I'd be like, whoa, I just gave this guy way too much ammo. You know what I mean? He was sitting there with an empty gun, and you just threw a box of ammo right at him. So now, look, Adam's talking all this penis talk. Destiny's just thinking of a way to really drill it home to him.
She's against it. I said, does your brother have one? She's like, yes. Circumcision. Does your dad have a circumcision?
Wait,
She's
why
like,
would
yes.
she know that?
Because it's a family.
And they talk about their a lot.
You've never seen your dad's
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, that's why you're a fucking freak like this.
Jesus.
You know who has a huge...
Look at that. What was that? He goes, that's why you're a freak. Nah. You might be the freak, Adam. Adam's like, whoa. You never saw your dad's dick before? Adam's like, you never sucked your dad's dick before? He goes, are you crazy? Of course. He goes, my whole family knows every single person. We have charts of who's circumcised and who's not right on the fridge. It's a magnet to the fridge. That way we know the dynamic that we have going on in this household. We know who stands with who. You know what I mean? Because if one of those guys is uncircumcised, we got to vote him off the island, my friend. So Adam's sitting there like, what, you're not like a freak Jew like me? You know what I mean? You don't have tunnels under your house. Destiny's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Destiny's like, I'm just a regular white dude. I'm not one of these crazy fucking weirdos like you know? And Adam's not even a real Jew. You know what I mean? He's one of those non-practicing. Unless you're fully decked out, curls on the side of your head, fucking black trench coat, you know what I mean? The whole thing's like, what do they wear? Like Sherpas or some shit like that? Unless you have all that, you're not a Jew. I'm sorry. You're not a Jew. I'm sorry. Unless you actually having sex between pillow sheets and doing all that kind of shit, you're not Jewish, okay? So for Adam to be sitting there looking at Destiny like this, Destiny's like, bro, calm the fuck down, dude. Chill.
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, that's why you're a fucking freak like this.
Jesus.
You know who has a huge dong, apparently?
Who?
Bill Maher, biggest in Hollywood, I heard. Kind of
Okay.
makes sense for how he acts.
Okay.
Like, because he's just got like a fucking to his knee. Dude, I went to a Korean spa this weekend with my girlfriend. Nick, I didn't tell you this. I saw the most remarkable penis I've ever seen in my entire life. It put a smile across my face.
What the fuck? So this guy, now Destiny knows. Destiny's like, well, man, I think I got this guy, man. He's like, I think that I'm going to actually have the last laugh here. This guy won't stop talking about dicks. Is he gay? And Destiny's like legitimately bi. Destiny's like actually like he'll just tell you, yeah, I'm bi. So all this stuff, me making fun of him about sucking dicks and stuff, yeah, it's funny to make fun of him because of who he is, but there's nothing wrong with it. He's bi. It's cool. You know what I mean? As long as you're bi, it's okay to suck a dick, okay? That's fine. whatever. You're obviously confused. So no big deal there. So now, but Adam, who claims to be a straight man, talking a lot about dicks. And I don't know if we can have that. You know, so Destiny hears him, you know, rambling now, filibustering about these dicks. Destiny's in the kitchen cooking something up for him.
Hasidic Jew, his ball bag, like just above the knee. Like the longest balls I've ever seen, micro up top.
It could have been a shower. Or no, a grower.
I didn't see a grow. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, that's because maybe he's not getting horny. With some weird little fucking freak staring at his ball sack.
What the fuck? God damn, Destiny. I'm loving it. I am loving it. So, dude, Destiny calling Adam a fucking weird little freak. Dude, you should have laced into him harder. You should have called him a bug-eyed, wide-nostriled, fucking Jewish, curly-haired little freak. You could have added a lot of adjectives on there. I was waiting for all of them. He didn't, but what he gave us was almost just as good. I liked this so much. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know Destiny had this in him.
Dude, I went to a Korean spa this weekend with my girlfriend. Nick, I didn't tell you this. I saw the most remarkable penis I've ever seen in my entire life. It put a smile across my face. Hasidic Jew, his ball bag, like just above the knee. Like the longest balls I've ever seen, micro up top.
It could have been a shower. Or no, a grower.
I didn't see a grow. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, that's because maybe he's not getting horny. With some weird little fucking freak staring at his ball sack. Maybe it's not turning him on like it is you.
It's
okay.
a fucking locker room. Like,
ooh.
No.
Yeah, but you're doing a close enough investigation, okay?
Oh, look, Adam's like, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. This guy might as well, like, somebody throw him a life jacket because he's in deep. I'm telling you this, and he's gonna start looking around at the crew while he's saying it, and Destiny's just fucking him up. And it's not even like Destiny's saying anything that fucking funny or wild, but it's coming from Destiny. You cannot get roasted even a little bit by a guy like him. Everyone's gonna automatically start taking his side. The second that they see he's got even a little bit of sass in him, they're going to take his side. They're going to be like, holy shit, Adam Freidland's getting fucking busted up. And that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, that's because maybe he's not getting horny. With some weird little fucking freak staring at his ball sack. Maybe it's not turning him on like it is you,
it's
okay?
a fucking locker room. Like,
no. Yeah, but you're doing
my
a
day.
close enough investigation, okay, to delineate the size of the balls and the dick.
I'm saying he's a good guy. He made my day.
What I'm curious about is if there's video cam footage of this, are you in the corner with your fucking Inspector Gadget magnifying glass analyzing this dude's fucking crotch?
Oh, he calls him Inspector Gadget! God damn! Yo, I was loving this because Destiny is like legitimately, he's getting ramped up, and Destiny knows. I love when I see shit like this. When you see somebody and they know that they have that fire for that one little moment, they know. Destiny knows that right now he's tapped in with the universe as best as he can be. He's not, like I said, these are not the craziest jokes ever. But for a guy like him, he might as well be throwing a spirit bomb. He's doing the whole Goku thing. He's got his hands up in the air. And he's like, universe, provide me with your energy. And he's really giving it to him. And I love it. You can hear him in his voice. He's getting ramped up when he's talking. He throws out the Inspector Gadget bit on him. Like, this is so good. This is so good.
You're doing a close enough investigation, okay, to delineate the size of the balls and the dick.
I'm saying he's a good guy. He made my day.
What I'm curious about is if there's video cam footage of this, are you in the corner with your fucking Inspector Gadget magnifying glass analyzing this dude's fucking crotch?
It's the little things in life that you just know that like
his dick?
Things are going to be better in the world, you know? We're in this crazy time of Trump and misinformation, and sometimes you see an old Hasidic guy's and his nuts were like, he had big old nuts too. It wasn't like just the bag.
You see, this is what I'm saying. Adam now, he's like repeating the same story over again. He's trying to get the crew on his side. He's like, please, somebody relate to me so I am not the only one who looks like an asshole here. Please.
And then just micro up top. It was just aesthetically, you expect your entire life you're never going to see that, right?
But you have.
Now I have.
Good job.
the profile of streamers is skyrocketing. We had Trump on Aiden Ross.
Look, forget. Okay, we don't care about Trump. Aiden Ross. Fuck off, bitch. That's good shit right there. I love that. You seriously, you cannot beat Destiny. Actually, Destiny. Like getting one off on you. Like, was that even real? Like, I was like, there's no way that this is real, you know? So let's give it up for Destiny for not getting caught in the Adam Freidland fucking mousetrap, you know? Fuck that guy. Fuck Destiny too. Fuck both of them. So on that note, we're going to end with some music and call this one an episode, why don't we? As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me on yet another week of Lost Aux Media, where we make you take a second look at what you just watched. So, be sure to catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you catch your favorite podcasts. Audio episodes go up every morning at 5 a.m., while video episodes go up on YouTube at 4 p.m. for our live premieres. Be sure to come by at 4 p.m. We have the live chat going. We got a lot of good folks in there. And it's growing slowly but surely. So as always, I'd like to thank you and bid you with that last adieu. Goodbye, and until next week, see you later.